Let's go! What's up, everybody? Am I live? Am I currently being broadcast? Hello, everybody. I can see a few names up in here. Familiar faces. Solar Max. Mal's in the building. Six, the one and only, is in the building. Ghoul Games up in here. Lefty Bear back in the day. Kenshi Dude, Solar Max, all of you guys, welcome. How is everybody? Can you all hear me? Can you all hear me? How are we, guys? How goes it? What's up, everyone? Are we all good? Sky Down, what's up, Sky? Oh my god! I wasn't expecting this right off the bat. 1 second, guys. 1 second. Ah! You caught me by surprise. I wasn't there. I wasn't expecting it to drop me in there. Wait. Stop. Hello, and welcome, foolish mortals, to another live stream. A Valentine's live stream, mind you. Not that that means anything to me, but a lot of you guys are single. And I personally couldn't think of any better way to spend Valentine's Day, or fucking any day, than playing this online with you guys and just having a good old time. So, how is everyone? That's where I left off last stream. It literally is. Solar Max, you're not even wrong. That's exactly where I was, because last live stream, and I've made preparations this time, so if the chat goes ballistic and it won't slow down, because again, like last time, I'm going to try and talk to you guys a lot more than I actually play. And, you know, interact, listen to your theories and thoughts and speculations and stuff like that. Because there's been a couple of things go on. Nothing of major note. But, yeah, I just wanted to spend some time with you guys. Oh, my God. Me, Maddie, and Kingsley are all watching on separate accounts. Well, hello, everybody. Hello, Kingsley, you piece of trash. Hello, Maddie. Hello, Kingsley. And hello, Big Daddy Cyrus as well in the building. How is everyone? Expose. Yeah, this is literally where I left off. Because when I play this game, normally I'm playing it and I'm enjoying it, and just like, you know, arbitrarily check the chat. But because of the recent popularity in the channel, and particularly in the theory side of things, the chat's been going so quick that I haven't been able to keep up, so I just paused the game. But this time I've actually got like a big camera set up and an actual vlogging system set up. So if it does get to a point where I'm literally not playing the game full stop, you know, it's been like half an hour and I haven't moved like last time, I'll just change to big camera and I'll just focus on talking to you guys. I might even move my chat so I can actually see it better, because right now it's miles away. I love your streams. Thank you, Cool Games. I really appreciate that. It's really kind of you to say. I love being here. It's just quite rare that I ever get the chance to actually sit down and do my thing, but either way, it's all good fun. Ugh. Got dragged into this Valentine's event at school. Ugh. My friend got Yeah, like, Valentine's is neither here nor there. It's like, for me, it's entirely commercial, and I don't mind. For some people, it's a wonderful day and a fantastic event and something to celebrate. And for others, it's just a stark reminder of the fact that they are alone. And the truth is, like, not everybody loves Valentine's Day and not everybody has something to celebrate. So, for me, I wanted to give something back. Like, basically, this is an opportunity for you guys, especially those of you guys who are single, to just come, chill out, and let's have some fun and take our minds off the event in general. So yeah, I'm I don't know if I'm a huge fan, but it doesn't bother me all that much. But I'm glad all of you guys are doing okay. I'm glad to see so many of you as well. Chat is active at the moment, and I just sorry I'm taking my time. I'm gonna play for a little bit. I just don't want to I don't want to miss anything important if you guys jump in. And of course, if anyone says hi and I miss it, because like I say, I don't feel like I'm a big enough YouTuber to straight up ignore comments by any stretch. Like, you know when you get huge YouTubers, like Just Jord, for instance. Just Jord gets so many comments that if he was to sit down and answer each and every comment individually, it would take up more time than he has in a day. It couldn't do it. It just couldn't. And and that's Jord's level. Imagine people who are on a bigger level, like Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, PewDiePie, Mr. Beast. Like, imagine if these guys were in that position. The Nightmare Theorist, that is an awesome name and an awesome profile picture. Hello there. Mr. Uga's in the building. How are you? How is everyone? I thought 6 was 9. 6 is 9. Well, actually, technically now, 6 is about 15. Because the original Little Nightmares came out. Well, actually, I don't know. 6 was 9 at the time of Little Nightmares 1. So, and that was 6 years ago. So, she's 14. Ish. 15. 14, 15. I'm bad at maths. Don't say anything, Kingsley. You don't know anything. You weren't there. You weren't there, man. Don't be trash, mate. Perfect holiday for Little Nightmares 2. Devan Fredette. And I'm sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. I'm sorry if I pronounce anything wrong, by the way. No, 6, 8, 9. 6, 8, everyone. Yeah, 6 is... hell nah. Gemini, hi, who is your Valentine? Lily, I would rather die. Like, legitimately, I don't celebrate Valentine's Day. This is my celebration for Valentine's Day. Chilling with you guys. I would straight up rather die than have a date. Trust me. Why is the hunter moving in seemingly slow motion? Must be playing on easy mode, guys. Uh-oh. I love this bit, though. It's so daunting. Look at him. Ooh. Junior Wills went to a fun fair. Oh, wow. Sorry for some spending Valentine's Day at the fun fair. I did not go to the fun fair. I, in fact, haven't been to a fun fair in a long time. It's been ages since I last got to. Is Little Nightmares in a time loop, or is it just mono in Little Nightmares 2? Really tough to call. Oh, what do you mean, come here? You're pointing the wrong way, 6. Come on, then. If you insist, we'll go this way. We're going back to the cabin. It's back to the cabin. Up is B Rabbit. I've never actually done this. What happens if you go back? Oh, you just can't get in, I guess. Can I not? No, this is as far as we can go. What a shame. Yeah, it's really tough to call if it's a time loop or not. It could just be that only Mono is stuck in the loop. You know, there's a lot of debate. I've seen a lot of theorists talk about either Mono is the Thin Man, or is Mono merely the replacement for the Thin Man. You didn't see anything. Get out of my face. Mono's name is his relationship status. Yep, pretty much. Pretty much. Oh, 6, get in here. See, notice, he didn't shoot 6, and he won't shoot 6. Ha! 6 in character, 100% deserve. At some point, would you consider playing Poppy Playtime? Absolutely. In fact, I did play it, but only Chapter 1. And I loved it, and it was great. Yeah, so playing it, yes. Theorising on it, not so much. But yeah, I would definitely, absolutely think about it. How will the giveaway work? So the giveaway will take place, well, giveaways today. All you got to do... yeah, I should really cover that, shouldn't I? Yeah, bear with me then. Tell you what, let me get over here and I will discuss the giveaway with you guys, because obviously the giveaway is a big deal and what we're giving away is actually awesome. You'll have seen it if you saw the advert for this. So I'll just get over here and then I will explain the giveaway. Yes! Good save. Okay, good stuff. Right, yeah, because there are like terms and conditions and stuff like that I really should read as well. Rat Diddy, what's up? Alex the Frog, hey, you didn't miss anything, you just missed me get shot by the hunter. Random person was picked to be the Thin Man. See, that's an absolute possibility, we don't know. Kingsley and Maddie, you have to play Fortnite, so they say bye, feel free to swear again. Alright, well, Kingsley and Maddie, have fun on Fortnite, good luck. And I'm trying not to swear, Dave. I am getting a bit better, Dave, Simon. Nightmare has arrived. Nightmare's in the building. What's up? Okay, how many have we got? There's 29 of you guys here. Okay, I'll tell you what, real quick, I'm going to show you guys a super fast advert, okay? It's only about 30 seconds long. It shows you what I'm giving away. Then straight after that, I'm going to read the terms and conditions of the giveaway so you guys know how to enter and what the rules and regulations are surrounding it, because YouTube and such. So there's certain rules that I have to obey. So I'm really sorry I have to read a script part, but yeah, you guys will see it. Jetty Spaghetti, oh my god! Jet's in the building! Everyone bow! My guardian angel is in the building on Valentine's. Happy Valentine's Day, Jet. How are you? Jason Valhalla. Valhalla. I can't know. I think in the comments a child with something covering its eyes is Candleman. I forgot the real name of it. Oh, he's actually, well, we know him as the Ferryman. But yeah, he was called Candleman. Apparently he's gone by many names. Okay, so yeah, I'll just show you this advert real quick and then I'll read the terms and conditions and then we'll get on to continuing. I'll get the boring bit out of the way, but this is what I'm giving away. So that right there, that's what I'm going to be giving away, because that came out on February 10th, and it's basically paying homage to the 3rd anniversary of Little Nightmares 2 being released. And it's amazing. It looks absolutely dope. It does not come out until July 2024. Which may be a subtle hint at when we're getting Little Nightmares 3, so it could be a summer release, we're not sure. But that statue will be available then, but it's available for pre-order now. And I've ordered 2 of them. One for me. It's going to go on my shelf when I get my shelf, because I'm having a shelf up there for a bunch of ornaments and stuff. And another one for one of you guys. Somebody randomly, it's not going to get chosen, I'm not going to select someone based on any particular criteria, it's going to be a random selection, but everybody will be given 1 free entry. Now, the terms and conditions of this thing have to be read right here, so please bear with me. Yeah, I can see there you guys are all interested. Together is the code word that will get you an entry. Obviously, the draw won't take place during the stream because it will take way too long to count and to go through, and in the interest of fair play, myself and my team are going to go through this live chat afterwards. The winner will be announced in 24 hours via a community post, so make sure you ring the bell so that you get the notification. If the person who actually wins the draw does not claim the prize within 72 hours, then it'll move on and somebody else will get it. Anyway, that'll all be contained in this, so reading voice time. Reading voice time. Hey, Trippy AI says lollipop, lollipop, lollipop. Hey, where is my lollipop? Oh, I've put it down somewhere, but I don't have my lollipop. I've got a rose. I got a rose. I mean, that was nice. Also, my computer today turned on and it's covered in neons. I've got this wicked computer, but it's covered in neons that are normally red and blue like everything else in my room. But today it's pink. It's bright pink neon and it comes up with a little symbol with loads of hearts and it says I love you, and I'm like, oh, my PC loves me. So I'm so happy about it. Little bit of nightmare, hey! I'll say my theory again, maybe the nowhere doesn't have a time loop, but rather is more of a time dot, where every chance to the world is echoed to both past and future, as in the paintings of the stairs. Oh yeah, actually that's an interesting point. Yeah, what's to say the signal tower doesn't actually alleviate or lead to a bunch of different realities? Ooh. How does it get claimed? So all you've got to do is type the word together, preferably in all caps so that it stands out, because we're going to count these. You all get one, so you only need to type it once, and then myself and my team are going to go through this. We're going to take the entries, and then I'm going to pick one of them. And then whoever that one person is, I'll announce it tomorrow in a community post. And then in July, when it actually comes to my address, I will send it to whoever wins. Now, below are the details of the prize giveaway for those of you who wish to participate. All viewers will receive one free entry into the prize draw by typing the code TOGETHER in the live chat. Members of the channel will automatically have all of their entries doubled. If you would like to increase your chances of winning, extra entries can be purchased at the price of £1 each, using Super Chat/Super Stickers. Please remember that we are based in the United Kingdom, so you may have to do your own conversions before donating to ensure the cost of your ticket or tickets is covered. If you wish to become a channel member, all of your entries will be doubled, and the cost of your membership will count towards your total number of entries, depending on which tier you choose. For example, Tier 1 gets you 2, Tier 2 gets you 8, Tier 3 gets you 26, and so on. Due to the potential popularity of this event and in the interest of fair play, all entries will be counted by myself and by members of my team after the stream has concluded. The winner will receive a Mono in 6 Together official diorama. If preferred, the winner may instead choose to receive a gift card of the same value, which at the time of writing this is £150, or about €180, which is on the Bandai site. You can check that out. The winner will be announced within 24 hours of the stream's conclusion by way of a community post, after which contact information will be exchanged in order to issue their prize. Should the winner fail to claim their prize within 72 hours of the community announcement being made, their name will be removed from the draw and another will be chosen. Please note... Sorry about this. Please note, anybody under the age of 16 who wishes to purchase additional entries must do so with the permission of their parent or legal guardian. Thank you all so much for listening, and best of luck to you all. And also a super massive thank you to all of my Boom Squad members. That is my channel members. Now, how is everybody? Does everybody understand? Is that clear to everyone? This is like the lottery with more chance of winning. Pretty much, yeah. So basically, all you got to do is be here and type the word together. If you do that, then yes, you will be entered into the draw. Also, is sounded how would we be contacted to claim the diorama? So what will happen is I will make an announcement by community post. So I will mention the person and I will tag you in that post. So I will find your name, your channel, your YouTube channel. I'll type in your name on the community post and I'll say, congratulations, you've won. Drop me a comment below. And then in that comment below, I will give you contact information for you to message privately so that we can discuss address and terms of how I send it and where I send it to. Because obviously, I don't want your address online. Nobody put your addresses in the comment section because just don't. It's dumb. Okay. So is the giveaway free or do you pay? So it is, everybody gets one free entry. So by typing the word together, you get one free entry. Nobody has to buy extra tickets. But if you want to increase your chances of winning, then you can purchase extra tickets by making donations to the channel using a little button that's down below that looks like a $sign. You do not have to do that. That's basically just a way for me to give back to my channel members, because without them I couldn't be a YouTuber. They basically pay for my games and my software and so on and so forth. There you go, like Jet. So Jetty Spaghetti has just become a Tier 1 GNAID Boom Squad member, which means that she gets 2 entries now. In fact, so you got 1 before, and she gets another for the Grenade entry, and then she gets both of those doubled. So Jet actually has 4 chances to win rather than just the one, because she's a channel member. And that's just a way for me to give back. It's not necessarily pay to win, and I would actively discourage people from spending too much. Because obviously, the reason I put this out is because it's a really expensive piece. It's €180 or £150, which is a lot of money. And I would like to recoup some of that if I'm capable, but I also want to give back to the community. So the idea is that you guys could potentially get this for free, or maybe for whatever price you decide to pay, if you decide to pay anything. But again, there is absolutely no necessity to it. You will be entered into the draw whether you pay or not. But if you pay, the chance of you winning is slightly increased. Anyway, most excited for the Necropolis. I don't know what yeah, the foreshadowing. Yeah, sorry, Alex the Frog just said the foreshadowing in this scene was insane, and it is. Yeah, it really, like, once you've played the game once and you know how it ends, it's like, it's a little bit nerve-wracking. But yeah. And thank you for that, Jet. I really appreciate you. Mr. Uga's got to go. Hey, don't worry about it, Mr. Uga. You got to go, you got to go. You all got... I know you got your priorities. And I appreciate you spending some of your Valentine's Day with me. Also, what's the volume like for you guys? Is it too loud? Am I too loud? Please let me know if the volume isn't quite to your liking, and I will change it for you. Uh-oh. There you go. Thank you, 6. Give me a... The hunter makes such desperate sounds. Oh yeah, he can shoot twice then. Must have loaded 2 bullets in that side. Gonna play Little Nightmares 2 alongside me? Yeah, go right ahead. Get some hard to the core on the go. But this will not be a speed run. I'll be surprised if I make it out of the wilderness, to be honest, because the amount I talk to the audience... I'm going to try not to stay alive for a really, really long time today, because as much fun as it is, I sometimes overdo it, and I end up thinking, right, you know, I'll go live for an hour or two, and then 4 hours later I end up going to bed, because it's actually kind of late. It's 8:30 at night for me right now, and I've got a couple of things that I need to do after this stream, so it may not be the longest stream ever. But I did want to do it today, and I did want to do the giveaway and give everybody a chance to do it. And I also want to give everyone a chance to enter the giveaway. And to speculate as well, because if you guys want to share some thoughts and theories and things like that, then by all means do. In fact, Nearly. Unpopular... What? Gemini, can you read my last message? 1 second. 1 second. I have a Little Nightmares concept character. His name is Echo, and he's a child. He wears a torn suit and 1 tattered shoe, and a smiling comedy mask. Thoughts? I actually love that. That sounds awesome. In fact, I kind of... You know what? I can't remember the description of... What was his name? Jester? Was it Jester from the Sounds of Nightmares series? That kind of... I'm getting Jester vibes from that description. I like that a lot. Sounds really cool, Nightmare. Unpopular opinion, but I've never thought 6 has ever been evil. Probably not. Like, I'm debating in my head constantly, you know, did 6 know? It actually hit me just the other day where I was watching the end scene, because I played the game through a while ago, and I was watching my old play, where I got the secret ending, and it sort of hit me, like, I was like, hang on a minute. Did 6 drop Mono because she was getting hungry and she didn't want to eat him? You know, was she aware of that? Did she know she wouldn't be able to control herself, or what? You know, could that be the thing? I don't know, but it just sort of hit me, because when I saw the grumbling of her stomach and Dark 6 show up and everything, I was like, did she know? Like, was she being a good guy? Was she trying to save him, or what? I don't know. Hoping for a lot more sound in the next game. It's always been good, but not really the focus. Imagine an invisible enemy. Yeah, like kind of like the shoe monster, but one that you couldn't see. Well, I think a good concept for an invisible enemy would be the North Wind. I feel like if the North Wind had a really strong presence, then they could use sound design to the absolute pinnacle, couldn't they? Because an invisible enemy. I know that he does have like a corporeal form. You know, he looks kind of like a witch, doesn't he? He's got like a black silhouette sort of shape to him. I've actually seen some phenomenal artwork on DeviantArt of the North Wind. But I think he would be a really cool way to explore what an invisible enemy would be like in Little Nightmares. Thoughts on Little Nightmares 3 so far, characters and theories? I've got loads, my dude. I've got loads. Some of which I've already put on the channel, and you can feel free to go and check them out also. So I do think that we're going to see the Ferryman. I feel like the Ferryman will have a presence, or at least a cameo in it. Obviously, we got Lorne Alone and the super, the monster baby. Oof. But I'm not sure who else we might get, but it's an absolute possibility. I think that we're quite likely to see the Ferryman. North Wind's a maybe, Mirror Man is a maybe, but I think, this is going to sound odd, but I'm leaning more towards that we might see Six or the Lady again. And I know that's kind of weird, but I think the mirrors thing is trying to throw us off by leaning more. I think everyone thinks, oh, the Mirror Man, it's got to be the Mirror Man. Surely it's the Mirror Man. But it could very well be a red herring, because all of the OG fans will be familiar with the Mirror Man, anyone who's read the comics anyway. So obviously it's like a monster that lurks in the mirrors. Who could it be? But I think that we're paying too much attention to the mirrors and not enough attention to the black smoke surrounding them. I think the black smoke and the fact that the mirrors get broken when Alone travels through them. Lo is the only one that can travel through them. So, yeah, and if we look back to this game and Little Nightmares 1, all of the mirrors are broken. And the only mirrors we actually find all get broken as well. We find 3 mirrors in Little Nightmares that are like full mirrors. One of them that we beat the lady with. In the ladies' quarters as Six, we destroy it. There's one of them as the runaway kid where the lady's looking into it and brushing her hair, but after she catches you looking at her, she breaks that mirror. And then there was the mirror in the guests' quarters as well. The guests' area. In the bathroom where you hide from the chef, then you break the mirror and go into the room behind it because it was like a 2-way mirror that's really creepy. I bet you can make it out of the wilderness. Yeah, you will. I can guarantee, Mal. I guarantee that you will get out of the wilderness before I do. It's just I'm probably not going to make it out of the wilderness today. The game is just there as background noise for when the chat goes quiet. But I've even got a system set up for if the chat's so loud and so, you know, if you guys are constantly talking and if I've always got like between 20 and 30 people talking to me, I might just turn the game off and talk to you guys normally. In fact, if I do this one more time, I'm actually going to shut the game off for a little bit. And just talk to you guys with the OST playing in the background. Hi, hope you're having a good day, Gemini. I hope you are too, Mickey Miranda. And it's great to see you in the stream. Thank you for stopping by. Oh, bye, Six. Six has got to go. Say bye, Six. Aye. Just imagine what the North Wind's theme would sound like. It would sound dope. I bet they would have a really eerie, ethereal, spooky kind of theme. Alex the Frog says, do you think there might be a small town or maybe other locals in the wilderness besides the hunter? I mean, the house you just walked through definitely wasn't our hunter's house. It probably wasn't. Like, he probably took over that cabin. He probably just invaded it, didn't he? And also there's more to this area as well. Because, like, we just ran through more than one property. So you notice you leave the hunter's initial cabin and you see his outhouse. And then you go into his workshop where he's skinning his animals and what have you. And then that house we just left was sort of like an abandoned barn. And then we're heading out all the way across this bridge, or this dilapidated bridge and wilderness area. And we get to another property that we hide in. That's a shack with like his spare gun in it and such. So yeah, this could very well have belonged to somebody else. And there definitely were other people around this area because we find bodies everywhere. There's bags full of them. There's bodies in the hunter's cabin. There's bodies buried throughout the wilderness that you can find if you look hard enough. You can actually see feet sticking out of the ground and people trapped and stuff. And these aren't children either. These are full-blown adults. So yeah, there could absolutely be other people dotted around. And I think the hunter's fully expecting them given how many traps he's set. I don't know if this has been covered, but I wanted to share since I wasn't the one to find it. But in one of the deluxe poster before Little Nightmares 2, Law's name is on one of the pairs of blocks. Coincidence maybe. Is it? I didn't see that. Devan Fredette. And I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, but that's very interesting. I did not see that, but I'm going to look into it. I had no idea that was a thing. In fact, I didn't know there was any legible dialect in the game apart from Roger's name tag and the names on the soap. And maybe in Very Little Nightmares there's a book with the more written on it. It's barely legible, but it is recognisable, so that could count. But yeah, if it does say Law's name and I've missed it, then that's a very, very interesting point. I'm going to have to look into that and find out for myself. I won't be able to be in your Little Nightmares 3 midnight stream because I'm going to be playing it myself. I won't want spoilers. I won't be streaming it myself. So the day Little Nightmares 3 comes out, I will be playing it on the channel, but I won't be live. Because I want to experience it myself. And if I'm distracted by chat, and that's not a dig at you guys are amazing, and I'm really glad that you're here talking to me now, but when I come to play the game for the very first time, I absolutely want to be fully immersed. I don't want any distractions. The lights will be off, the mood lights will be on, the headphones might not be on actually. I'll have my big speaker system on that I don't often use for streams because it's just too loud. But yeah, I'll have my surround sound system, and I will be recording, but I won't be live. So it will be available so that you guys can watch it after the fact, but I highly encourage you to play the game for yourself before watching my stream of it, whenever that might be, or my video of it. Right, I tell you what, guys, because I am talking so much here. Faceless Art and Skills says, "Hey Gemini, how are you doing?" Faceless Art and Skills, I'm really glad that you're here because I reached out to you about some artwork that you made a little while ago, and I didn't get to see it, or at least I didn't think I did. But I did leave a message over on your channel, and I'm not sure if you got it. So let me know if you did, because I'm keen to see your work. Okay, I'll tell you what I'm going to do, guys. Bear with me for just 1 second. I'm going to put the big camera on, lose these headphones, and I'm just going to talk to you guys because the game is obviously just here taking away computer power right now. I will play a little bit more. I'll leave it on just in case the chat picks up. In case the chat dies down or anything. But for now, all the game's doing is distracting me. So bear with me just a sec and let me know what you think of this upcoming layout. For now, I'll leave you with an advert while I set that up real fast. Okay, there we go. Whoa, that's kind of weird. That's funny looking lighting right there. Let's see what I can do about that. Ooh, too dark. Lights. All right, here we go. Oh, that camera's a little bit wonky, but hello everybody. There you go. All right, new format, new layout. What do we think? Is that okay? And also, can you hear me speaking over the music? Is the music too loud? Because I can't hear it. When I play like background music, I've got the OST playing, but I'm not sure if it's actually playing for you guys, or if you can hear it, or if it's too loud. So please let me know. But yeah, so I'm just going to read a couple of these comments, and I'm going to talk to you guys for a while without being distracted. Okay. I think we return to the mall. This is because on PlayStation Store, one of the images for Little Nightmares 3 is a mall-type environment with the exact material and iconic long wooden stairs. It could very well be. Now, that's really difficult to say because that image is the only image we get that's similar to the mall. And it could be from a completely different area. Like, it could be from the circus area because that's supposed to be high up. And that might just be how we get there. But there's a couple of times where I was playing Little Nightmares 1 and looking at areas of the mall that I thought that could be. And it could be an area that we've already explored, but just a little bit more dilapidated. And it depends on the time frame, because we don't know when Little Nightmares 3 takes place. It could take place after the events of Little Nightmares 1 and 2, or it could be way, way before. And until we get more evidence, we don't know. We can speculate. Like, it's fun because I think they know that as well, because by throwing us into the necropolis, it's kind of like, well, the necropolis quite obviously predates everything we've seen already. So it's tough to say what actually matters. But yeah, I don't know. It's actually a cool concept, and in fact, I'm going to share a concept of hell with you guys in a little bit that I read a while ago that reminded me a lot of the Nowhere. But obviously, I'm going to read some of these first. What if one of the broken mirrors is the one we go through in Little Nightmares 3? Well, that's what I was thinking. It could be. That's why it matters when it takes place, because if this game takes place at the same time. If Little Nightmares 3 takes place at the same time as Little Nightmares 1, or before Little Nightmares 1, or even during, like early during, then we could very well pop onto the mall via one of those mirrors. For like that's absolutely possible, but it depends on the time frame. The Nightmare Theorist. Quick question. I have a channel and I make Little Nightmares theories. Could you look at it when you have the time? I'd be more than happy to, Nightmare Theorist. In fact, I've been looking for a couple of Little Nightmares theory channels specifically because my favourite Little Nightmares theorist is It's Just Jord. He was my inspiration for creating the kind of content that I create now, and the thing that's found a lot of success on the channel recently. But it's hard to compare anybody to him because he's just so good. Like, so I don't think I'm even I'm not even remotely close to that caliber. But I would like to see others. I recently found one called Terrico, who's a game theorist, but he doesn't necessarily specialise in Little Nightmares. He's done Little Nightmares theories, and the ones I've seen are good. But he does so much else, whereas Jord specialises in Little Nightmares and Poppy Playtime, but more Little Nightmares. At least I lean more towards his Little Nightmares content, even though right now Little Nightmares series is kind of a dry well because we don't have that much content to speculate on. So we kind of make stuff up as we go. But I think that's the beauty of this franchise, is it keeps you thinking. But yeah, Nightmare Theorist, I would be more than happy to have a look through. In fact, when me and my team go through this to count the giveaway entries, we will absolutely be looking into some of the channels that are coming up here, because I know some of you guys have YouTube channels of your own, and I read all the comments, and when I do, I tend to visit your channels and check what it is you do, and I'll sometimes leave comments and stuff if I've got the time. Vinny says maybe the lady was trying to stop someone from getting in. It didn't matter about her identity. Yeah, she could have been. She could have been. Like, she might have insisted that all the mirrors are broken and all the televisions are destroyed or removed. It could be that they threw all the TVs overboard, but the only one... Because you notice the lady doesn't have a television, even though her quarters are quite nice. Are all the mirrors broken in the Pale City as well? Yes, they are. Nightmare has to go, that's fine, no problem. I will see you when you get back. Pale City doesn't have any mirrors. No, there's a couple, but the ones that we find are broken. Like there's one in the hunter's cabin that's broken. There's one in the school under the floorboards that's also broken. I think you can find a broken one in the signal tower. And there may be one or two in the hospital in Pale City as well, but I can't pinpoint where they are. I think I remember seeing them, but I couldn't tell you exactly where. Whereas the ones I've just mentioned, I could tell you exactly where. I don't see us getting anything comic related. The only thing we've gotten is the ferryman, but remember he was in the paintings in the first game. Yeah, it's possible, but also he was mentioned quite prevalently in the Sounds of Nightmares, and I think that's why the Ferryman, because the Ferryman, he's been theorized about endlessly. He's mentioned, like, he features in artwork in Little Nightmares 1. He makes a cameo appearance in one of the music boxes in Very Little Nightmares, and he did feature in the comics as well. And there are 2 Little Nightmares books coming out as well. You guys should look that up if you don't already know. I think one of them is called The Lonely Ones. And I can't remember what the other's called. I think it's called like Journey Through Nightmares or something like that. But if you look it up, you'll find it. They're not out yet. There's not even so much as a front cover print. But yeah, you should look in. Yeah, exactly. Ferryman, but remember, he was in paintings in the first game. He was, yeah. I always thought that it was the hunter's house and he just stuffed his family or something like that. It could be. This is the thing. It's quite possible that that's true, but we don't actually know for certain. It's definitely his house now, and even if he did randomly take it over back in the day, we don't know how long he's been there. The hunter could have been there for years at this point, so for all he's concerned, that is his house. Kuru the Wolf. Kuru the Wolf, that's a really cool name. How do you think it would... Well, 1 second, sorry. The chat's really small for some reason. Either that or I'm going blind in my old age. How do you think it would be like if the end of the alpha gameplay for Little Nightmares 3, when Lo and Alone wake up in the hospital bed, it could symbolise that maybe Otto was doing experiments? Yeah, absolutely. They could very well be some of the victims of Otto from the Sounds of Nightmares, the therapist. They could be before Cece. Not Cece. They could be before noon. Or afternoon, we don't know. Yeah, check your notifications, my brother, because Faceless Art, I did reach out because I said that I would check out your art on the Discord, but then when I went on the Discord, it wasn't there, and if you left it there, I could not find it, and I tried, and I specifically remember writing down your name and looking into you, because I thought, well, I'd really like to see your work, but I couldn't find it, so I'm glad you had a channel so that I could reach out. Plus, I haven't seen you in It's Just George server either. Oh, I'm very prevalent there, my brother. I'm always in Just George server. I just put a message in just now. In fact, if you want to find me on Discord, if you go into It's Just George server and click on Let's Plays, I literally just posted in it about half an hour ago, 43 minutes ago. Jason says, in the shown gameplay, I mean at the end of the gameplay, they're in a hole of light being turned on and off over and over again. I think in the end they are meeting with Six or Lady. Ooh. Oh, I wonder. Yeah, because they're backing away from whatever's closing in on them, but we don't know what it is. Yeah, could that be? That might have been them getting pulled into the nowhere. Maybe that's where the game starts. It could be. Yeah, it could flash back. Like, we don't know that the part that we seen them play through in the Necropolis, we don't know that that's at the beginning of the game or the end. Like, for all we know, that's the last chapter. But they're throwing us off. Maybe they've purposely given us, like, the gameplay footage have shown us is intentionally out of sync, so it doesn't make sense. So we're all here theorising, thinking, what happened? You know, they started in the nowhere and then they were pulled out of it. Where did that go? Maybe we're just seeing the end of the game and then the beginning of the game. So we're not sure. I'm not entirely sure on that, but it'd be cool either way. Sweet layout, everything seems fine. Thank you, Vinny, appreciate that. I wasn't sure because obviously I can't hear the music. I've just got this looping soundtrack at the moment, which is some of my favourite songs from the Little Nightmares OST. Yeah, so if it starts to annoy you guys, let me know and I'll turn it down. But I think the soundtrack is amazing and I wish I could hear it for myself. But if I could, it would bleed through my microphone and it would interfere with the audio quality. So I don't want to ruin that for you guys. I'm quite happy not hearing the audio. As long as I can see my chat, that's what counts. The place in the trailer where the multi-hands are kind of looks like it could be the Maw 2. It does a little bit, yeah, because it's got that sort of like bluish green kind of like ethereal atmosphere that the Maw carries. So it could be, but I think that's more likely to be the sewer, personally. But, you know, I could very well be wrong. I'm not sure. Just making a couple of judgments based on the general aesthetic. But without more information and more footage, we can't tell. We won't know until we play, for certain. But it's fun to speculate. I do. Professionally. Yo, Abyss is finally here. Abyss, you might appreciate the layout because layout's a little bit different today, and I've got the OST playing in the background. Granted, it's only like my top 10 favourite tracks from the OST, but not just one OST either. I've sort of picked and just cherry picked certain ones because I wasn't sure how long I would be in this format for. But yeah. I would really like to see the Nest in the main games. That'd be awesome. Yeah, I could not agree more. The Nest would be great to see remade in this like 2.5D dimension kind of thing. In 2.5 dimensional like Little Nightmares 1 and 2 is. It would be great. Which comment is he reading? I'm reading as many as I can. So basically as comments come up, I've got my chat full screened here. And I'm going to try and read as many as I can. And then give my opinions on them. I think the Necropolis could be either ancient times or a post-apocalyptic place. So if that makes sense, I haven't landed whether it is a sequel or a prequel though. Yeah, this is the thing. It's like, it's kind of like if you imagine a time traveller comes back to 2024, but they land in Rhodes Island on Greece. Greece. So they land in Greece on a little island called Rhodes. And the whole of Rhodes is basically exactly the same as it was 2,000 years ago. Everything is still like the shops are carved into mountains and the roads are all paved of cobblestone. And all of the old like columns and places of worship, like the sanctuaries for the gods and things like that, they all still stand. So it would be really easy to think, hang on, I've tried to get to 2024, but I've actually landed in the year 200, because all of the buildings there are thousands of years old and they haven't touched any of it because it's a preserve kind of thing. So maybe that could be what it's sort of like, we can't really judge where we are by the necropolis, because it's like, yeah, it looks like ancient times, but it could have been like that for thousands of years, and maybe we just happen to be there, because we know that we do see electricity in the game moving forwards, or backwards, unless time travel becomes a thing, which is a whole other kettle of fish that we're not going to get into because, ugh. Poppy Playtime Chapter 3 was amazing. Yes, I've heard it was. I haven't played it for myself, but I've watched George's theories on it, and it does look dope. 1 second, because Alex the Frog wrote something I was interested in seeing there. Terrico has some good theories. Yes, he does. Alex the Frog says, in the Secrets of the Maw DLC, there is a room with world globe in it. Yes. I think that instead of continents, a globe has eyes etched onto it. Ooh, that could be a thing. Do you think this symbolises that the nowhere is all just part of the eye entity itself? Well, we know that. Well, at least it's insinuated that the eye creature, or whatever the eye creature might be, whatever deity it is in control of at least some portions of the nowhere, because the signal tower, like not the Thin Man, but the tower itself was a being in its own. It was like this super powerful like reality warping creature, wasn't it, with loads of eyes and flesh that we couldn't really perceive. So yeah, it's possible that the entire world of the nowhere is that thing, and maybe needs to feed on the energy of the denizens in like one way or another, like through the mirrors, through the feeding, maybe just through acts of depravity. And that's why everything that you see sort of symbolises the 7 deadly sins. We see a lot of gluttony, a lot of overconsumption, a lot of escapism, a lot of pollution, a lot of murder, that sort of thing. Maybe it feeds on that kind of thing. Not sure, but potential. Detective Fallen is in the building. What's up, my brother? It's great to see you. Love that I got to catch you. Been a while, broski. Hope is well. All is well. All is well. It's great. As you can see, things are going good. We're having a chat with the community. We're all having fun. And yeah, it's a pretty good Valentine's Day for me. And happy Valentine's Day to you, my brother. Solomax says also, if the carnival is high up, bit of a stretch, it represents the nest. Ooh. But hundreds of thousands of years later, and the necropolis is the Pale City thousands of years later. Okay, yeah, now, okay, right, now the second bit particularly, the necropolis being the Pale City thousands of years later, that's absolutely a possibility. Yeah, that's cool, actually. Spill the Theories is a good Little Nightmares theory channel. Spill the Theories. I'm pretty sure I've heard of Spill the Theories. I think she's a girl, isn't she? About 8,000 subs, I think she had. I think I came across her channel actually a while ago, and I did glance at one of the videos. I can't remember which one it was. But yeah, I'm fairly certain I've heard of that channel. I'm going to look that one up. Spill the Theories. I think she was one of the main ones that I think the reason that's standing out to me is because I wrote a couple of channels down, like Terrico. That's why I can remember his name, because I wrote it down. Spill the Theories was another one that I was supposed to look into, but I haven't had a chance yet. Divan, if you're looking for the poster, it's known on Bandai Namco's website as official serigraphy, and the blocks are in the top corner on the TV. Hope this helps. It absolutely does, Divan. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that, because I would have been looking at like random pictures and just hoping for the best. So yeah, I really appreciate you clearing that up for me. Thank you for clarifying. I will absolutely be researching that bad boy. Izzy, hello, happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Happy Valentine's Day to you, Izzy. I hope you're having a good one. Alex says, speaking of mirrors, the description of the patients says that, hey, they look at themselves in the mirror and don't like what stares back. Do you think this might be connected to Little Nightmares 1? Yeah, absolutely. It could very well be one of the main connections. It could be that that's why all the mirrors that we find are broken, because everyone in the nowhere can't stand their own appearance. It's absolutely a possibility and a very good observation. Jason Valhalla says, Ghoul Game's very interesting. I didn't consider it, but what do you think about Workers Behind the Walls chapter? Isn't it inside the bit? You know, I thought that at first. I thought that maybe the construct that they were talking about, the stone giant, was the monster baby. But upon consideration, I'm not sure that's what it is. I think it's more like a factory, but I don't know for certain, because apparently there was a lady in control of it, a lady with a dress and chains, and she was surrounded by unfinished projects that I speculated on in a video as well. So yeah, that's absolutely possible. I'm not entirely taken on the stone giant being the monster baby. Because she doesn't appear to be made of stone, more a porcelain kind of thing. But I don't know, and you guys could be right. Well, everybody could be right. That's what I love about this community and this position. I love Little Nightmares theories, and I love the fact that Little Nightmares is completely ambiguous. Like, it's entirely left up to our own interpretation. So I can't look at someone's theory and go, that's wrong, because unless the developers say it specifically, like concretely state that is wrong, then you could be right. You know, we could state that Six is the Thin Man. They haven't told us she's not. So that could be right. So you can't go at anybody and, you know, get like fall out with them, and like I hate that as well. I can't stand people arguing. Like, debate is healthy. And it's good to speculate and have conversations and ask questions and pick apart people's theories. People do it to me all the time in my comment section. But it's invited, because my theories are not concrete. They're just what I believe to be true based on the evidence I've been able to substantiate. But people are invited and openly welcome to pick my theories apart. In fact, somebody before, Zero G, quite correctly pointed out that one of my theories, the dialect theory, it was partially incorrect. And they were absolutely right. But people in the comments sort of started attacking that person and said, oh, you're a killjoy, you know, and you're just trying to ruin it. And they're not. They merely watched the video and they made an observation, and it was factual, and it was correct, even more so. So while I appreciate that the people will kind of jump into my defence, there's no reason to attack anybody for their stance on it. They literally made an observation. That's what we're all here to do. You know, nobody should be fighting over it. That's why I always say in my videos, play nice, children. It's fun. It's supposed to be fun. Don't ruin it. Like, nobody needs to fight each other. Like, nobody knows anything concretely. Even the developers are a little bit hit and miss with it. Trust me. Otto is the ferryman. He metaphorically delivers children into the nowhere. Yes, kind of, he does. Funnily enough, it'd be strange if he was. And if, like, he's seeing the ferryman, because the ferryman is like a manifestation of his own subconscious. Like, that's a really peculiar and thought-provoking thing. Because when I've heard people say Otto's the ferryman before, but I never considered the metaphor of him delivering children. I like that, Trippy. That's cool. Tom Asher. Yeah, I got here in time. Hello, Tom. How are you? Hope you're doing well. I'm sorry I keep swallowing. I've got a real dry mouth, but I also don't want to drink too much in front of you guys because it's fizzy and I don't want to be gross. Little Nightmares soundtrack is impossible. Yeah, impossible to be annoyed by. Couldn't agree more. I listen to it all the time. In fact, listening to the Togetherness tune really soothes me. It makes me feel good and calm and chill, and it's dope, and it kind of inspires me. When I'm writing theories, I listen to tracks like End of the Hall and Togetherness and Norm in the Attic and things like that, or the Lady Circles, or the New Sounds of Nightmares theme. I just think they're great. They're really interesting. I think they are worth theorising about as well. Like the soundtrack itself, Tobias Leger is an amazing composer. Like, phenomenal work. Absolutely phenomenal. Where was I? Just made it out of the wilderness. Yeah, I gave up. I'm not playing anymore. I might go back to playing if the chat slows down, but so far chat is moving relatively quickly and is pretty active, and I don't want to miss anybody, and I feel like I want to read and address all of these because obviously these live streams, the whole point of these live streams is to interact with the community and talk to you guys and give you an opportunity to say your piece and have me address it rather than writing me a comment and just hoping that I read it in a future video. Because as much as I do, I will read it, 100% I'll read it. But whether or not I'll respond to it is entirely dependent on if I've got enough time in the day. And given that I work 2 jobs back to back on top of this, I don't have the time in the day to respond to everything that's going on. So I hold these kind of like gathering event kind of live streams where I don't really do much other than chill and chat with you guys as a means for you to say things to me, ask me questions, speculate and posit theories and stuff like that and give me your thoughts and opinions, and I can hear them and address them in real time rather than just like essentially ignoring everyone, because that's never what I'm trying to do. I don't think the beginning of the game... Oh no, why did it jump? Stop. There you go. Nightmare says, I don't think the beginning of the gameplay footage is the beginning of the game. In the trailer it shows... Excuse me. It shows a room that looks like the room in the mirror in the start of the gameplay footage. Yes, it does. Yes, it does, Nightmare. It absolutely does. Which is another reason why I also believe that the Necropolis might not be the very start of the game. It might just be that that's where they decided to throw us in as a means to throw us off. The Necropolis, and given as well, this is pre-alpha, the gameplay we've seen so far. So the Necropolis that we've seen and familiarised ourselves with in the gameplay trailer might be entirely different by the time we get our grubby little paws on it. They could change an awful lot depending on how it fits in and how it's been received. That's why they release trailers like that in pre-alpha. Also, I've got a theory, well, not necessarily a theory, but I've got an observation that you guys should check out, especially while you're just sort of sitting here. On that gameplay trailer, notice the mirror that Low and Alone come out of initially. They break through the mirror, yeah? But if you hit pause right before anybody comes through the mirror, so you're just looking at the mirror in the desert, look at the shelves and look in the bottom right corner of those shelves. You will see a face-on version of Low's mask. There might even be more than one of them, it's just kind of hard to see. And obviously you can only zoom in so much before it starts to augment and distort the image and look awkward. I haven't brought it up in a theory video because I'm not sure of the relevance of it, but it did make me think that Low's mask might not actually be made of bone at all. It may be more like some kind of cosplay. It might be made of paper mache or some kind of plastic, like a masquerade mask. It could be something like that. It could be something that he just found recently. We might even see him find it if we don't know. But yeah, anyway. Just check that out. If you haven't noticed that, have a look. The first mirror you see, as soon as you start watching the Necropolis trailer, where they break out of the mirror, look at whatever he's holding, it could be a map, and then they walk off. But before they break through that mirror, have a look in the bottom right corner and tell me what you think that is. I think it's Low's mask, or a copy of. So he could have just grabbed one of the masks off the shelf and put it on, and then went through the mirror. Maybe. But again, we don't know. But just a little back... Just a little afterthought. What is one of your favourite songs in the original soundtracks? Well, my all-time favourite one is Togetherness, Six's theme. I absolutely love it, and just the humming, like the sound of the children going like the that one. As you listen to it, especially so there's a remixed version of that they used for the trailer in February for Little Nightmares 2 back in 2021, and it was called what was it called? Tiny Flickers. And when you listen to that, it sounds like the children are going more and more insane. So it starts off quite light-hearted, like really, you can imagine them smiling when they're singing. But it sort of eventually gets to a point where it sounds like they're in pain or they're being forced to do it. You can almost hear the orchestra crying. It's such a powerful track. It's amazing. I use it, in fact, for my Would You Rather series, which is over on the Shorts tab of my channel. If you guys haven't seen it, you should check it out. It's quite popular. It tends to be going quite well. A lot of people have some interesting thoughts and speculations in there. Tom Asher says, yeah, I got here in time. A lot. I know you did, Tom. I'm really happy you're here. I see you. Don't worry. I don't know if you're repeating your comments so that I read it, but I'm pretty sure I already did. You should definitely add more songs to your playlist at some point. Yeah, no doubt. I'm not sure how many there are on this one. I think I've got like half an hour's worth of tracks on here right now. So it might play like 10 tracks and then reset. And I tried to choose some of the quieter ones. Like I really like Captive Audience, but it gets super loud. So I didn't want to. I didn't want it playing and having to mess around with the volume settings midstream because I can't hear it. As you can see, no headphones or anything, and I can't turn my speaker on because if I do, it will mess with my audio settings. So I just have to sit here and hope that you guys will tell me if the music is too loud. Because I might watch this back and it'll be like, oh my god, you can barely hear me, or I'm too loud, and maybe you guys can barely hear the soundtrack and I've screwed it up. But but I'm sorry about that if that's the case. Mal says, you know what's funny? My name contains Mal in it, and everyone thinks that's my name, but no, my name is James King, and that's what the JK is for, and everyone thinks my name is Mal, but Mal is my mascot's name. Yeah, I remember you saying that was your mascot before. I think I shouted out Mal last time. So would you prefer I call you James, or King, or JK, or Mal? What would you prefer to be called? So I don't mind, as long as I can remember. First is that, hey, I still can't friggin' find it, so maybe you could send me a link in the chat. Or in one of my YouTube vids if you want to, of course. I'll tell you what I'll do, Faceless Art. If you stick around for about 10 minutes after, or like just 1 minute after the stream ends, when the stream concludes, I will pin my Discord in the comments section. And I'll leave it there for 10 minutes so that you can get it. And then I'll delete it because I don't want to give it to everybody, obviously, because I'm already inundated with messages because I made the mistake of putting my Discord out in public before, and that's why I get like 300 messages a day, which is lovely, but again, I can't respond to them all, and it just makes me feel bad, so it's easier if people don't know it, but obviously, if that's the only way we can communicate, either that or go to my channel's About page and send me an email. Because if you click on business email, that will come directly to me or my team. And if you tell me, because they know who you are anyway, because I asked them to look for you before. So if you wouldn't mind dropping me an email as well, that would be awesome. That would be a good way for us to get in touch. Then we can exchange some contact information so I can actually see your work. Cool games. Don't get why people are so upset that Six isn't in the trailer. I think it's because she's such an iconic character. So Six is kind of like such an intrinsic part of the franchise, and people have fallen in love with her. And the fact that she's not there throws things into like out of whack a little bit. They're like, "What? It's Little Nightmares. What do you mean it's not Little Nightmares without Six?" To some people, it's not Little Nightmares if Six isn't in it, because they associate her so strongly with the brand, because she's been in every game. So the fact that she may not be in this one is a bit upsetting to her biggest fans, because obviously Six is like the #1 character, the most recognisable character, and then probably Mono. So it's understandable, but I also think we should go into it with an open mind, because #1, we don't know Six isn't in the game. We're not sure yet. She could very well be. She might even be the last big bad that we face. So we're not sure. I mean, that was a speculation I made, but We don't know anything for certain. And even if she's not in the game, full stop, doesn't even make a cameo appearance, it doesn't mean that it's going to be a bad game. It doesn't mean that they don't know what they're doing, and it does not mean that it's not Little Nightmares. Like you guys have seen the alpha, you've seen the trailer, you've heard the existing music. It's Little Nightmares. Like, we're in for a treat. We might not get 6, but we'll get something special. I don't doubt that. I went into Little Nightmares 2 with the same thought. I was like, as soon as I saw Mono, I was like, who's this guy? You know, and it was sort of like, you know, the fact that he had a paper bag on his head, I just thought was kind of a silly concept. And I was like, I don't know if I'm taken by this character design. And then we were outside and it threw me off. And I'm like, you know, I wasn't 100% certain. Now, I would not change it. This Little Nightmares 2 is one of the best games I've ever played. One of my all-time favourites ever. Like, it's not even top 10, it's like top 3. It's crazy how good this game is. And 6 isn't the main character. So I am going into Little Nightmares 3 with an open mind. There's a good chance that Low and Alone will have the exact same impact on us that 6 did in the first one and Mono did in the second. They make these characters really likeable and really relatable, and they do it intentionally. They allow us to project our own thoughts and feelings into these characters, which is lovely. Little Nightmare... Sorry. Nightmare Theorist says, what if I told you that the Thin Man is just a puppet to the Eye Monster, and it basically controls the loop and everything in Little Nightmares 2 comes from beginning to the end of the game? That's an absolute possibility. In fact, I always thought that the Thin Man was kind of just a construct. He was basically a tool of its will, because while the creature exists as the signal tower and in the signal tower, it doesn't necessarily have a corporeal form of its own. So it's forced to use its influence to manipulate the denizens, the main one of which being the Thin Man, to control the population and keep feeding it. Because I believe it feeds on like negativity. I think that's what the Nowhere is based on, and that's why anybody that gets sent there tends to get corrupted by it. But an absolutely interesting theory. And it could very well be a thing. You should have seen the Little Nightmares subreddit. People were so angry that 6 might not be in the game, it was ridiculous. I know, and I understand, like, I'm not dogging on the people who are mad about it, because if 6 isn't in the game, I will be a little bit disappointed. 6 is my favourite character. I think she's great. Like, she is a staple of this franchise. So yes, I will be a little bit disappointed to see 6, but it won't put me off playing the game. I'm not going to write to Bandai and like condemn Supermassive or anything and be like, no, you guys suck, you removed the best character and... Because why? Like, what's the point in being all that mad about it? You know, I think that we should focus less on what we're missing and more on what we are going to receive. Because we're not getting Mono, but nobody's kicking off. You know, nobody's going crazy. Nobody's clawing their eyes out because Mono's not going to be in the game. We expect him not to be in the game. You know, so it's just one of those where I think we should focus more on the positive. If we don't get 6, yeah, that might be a little bit disappointing, but it's no reason not to give the game a chance. And it's no reason to dislike the characters that we are getting, because so far, Low and Alone seem dope. And I'm really interested to see their dynamic, you know, their relationship build and how they interact with each other and the way they fight the monsters, their new mechanics and their gameplay. I think it's going to be really interesting. We should absolutely give them a chance. They might not be 6, they might not even compare to her, but until the game is released, we don't know. So I am reserving judgment. But for now, open mind, little ones. Right, where am I in these comments? Sorry. Who's it? Oh, Plasmatic says sub from the US. Hello, America. How are you, Plasmatic? It's good to see you. I hope you're doing okay. Sorry, I'm so far behind on these comments, guys. It's hard to read so many so quickly. But I do hope you're all very, very well this Valentine's Day. Good games. I'm playing Little Nightmares 2 and got to the part where you get the first flashlight in the hospital and there's a broken mirror here. Yes, that was where I thought I saw it. Yeah, absolutely. Well done. Glad you pointed that out because I couldn't remember. I was thinking that was where it was, but I couldn't pin it in my mind. Like, guy, the story doesn't revolve just around Six. Yeah, that's right. It doesn't. It revolves around the nowhere. I think the nowhere itself is more important than the characters in it. Yes, we've all built a relationship with Six as a character, but it's not all about her. Like, the entire story doesn't revolve around her. Yes, she is the main character, but if you think about the entirety of the nowhere, she is just one very small part of it. Her story is very important to the franchise as far as the games have gone so far, and I'm not dismissing that by any stretch. Like I say, Six is my favourite character. I think she's great, and I would like to see her in the new game, but she's not the be-all and end-all. Six isn't what's going to make this new game great. She could very well add to it, but just the fact that she isn't the main character means that she's not the primary focus anyway. So if the game is good, it won't be because Six is in it. Let's hear your take on Spirited Away. Spirited Away is a phenomenal movie. It's absolutely great. Now, for those of you that don't know, Spirited Away is like a Japanese anime-style movie by a company called, Studio Ghibli. And Studio Ghibli have made this phenomenal show. Now, I don't remember necessarily what it's about. I watched it when I was young, but I recently researched it because I found a lot of comparisons. In fact, I had them in my head and I was like, I'm sure I've seen this before. There are a lot of things that if you cross-reference on top of one another, you could easily mistake it for a Little Nightmares themed. Like, you would think if they brought out Spirited Away today and you'd never seen it before, someone said this is a new movie, it came out today, you would think it was based on Little Nightmares for how many references there are. And how many things you can reference on top of one another. In fact, I made a point of discussing this in one of my first ever theory videos. I think the video is called She's Back, Little Nightmares 3 Theories. And it was my first attempt at going through the Little Nightmares 3 trailer and speculating what we can expect to see. And I think I put up a bunch of screenshots from Little Nightmares and then cross-referenced them with screenshots from Studio Ghibli's Spirited Away. And you'll see the comparisons, like the characters, like everything right down to the characters that you see. There's one that's an awful lot like the craftsman. There's one that's a lot like the teacher. There's a lot of the masks. There's a lot of the eye. There's one that's like the lady and the shadow kids. There's these big pigs as well that take place at a fun fair, like a carnival sort of thing, which I thought was really spooky because of the screenshots that we've seen. And the characters there all turned into pigs, but wearing human clothes, very much like the guests, and they're there gorging on food. It's amazing. And the links are great, and it is very obviously inspired. Like, Little Nightmares is very obviously inspired by Studio Ghibli's Spirited Away. Very, very good movie from what I recall. I'm going to have to watch it again. The Nowhere was most definitely a normal society at one point. It could very well be plasmatic, yeah, absolutely, because I speculated before that some of these denizens could very well have been good people, but were forced to be bad by whatever malevolent entity controls the Nowhere. I actually made a bit of a spoof theory and released it on Christmas Day, just as a laugh. But it was fun, but it was very popular. A lot of people got behind it. But I speculated that the devil was in control of the Nowhere, and the Nowhere was like a purgatory, sort of like a hell, and that's why everything in it is so negative, and anything good there is forcibly removed. It's called the Fallen Theory, and you should check that out. I'm sorry I keep plugging my own stuff, but unless you guys are veterans of the channel and have actually seen my work before, you won't get these references. So I'm telling you about them so that after the stream you can have a little look and see if you want to. There's no pressure, obviously, but if you enjoy this kind of conversation, you might like when I've got prep time. Because I'm like Batman with prep time. Like, if you say, I could speculate to you now. I think you could ask me, how did the gnomes get off the moor? And I could be like, I could throw a couple of ideas at you, but if you give me 48 hours and say, go and look into it, and I do my research, I will come back with math and calculations and weights and ratios and percentages, and I will break it down on a microscopic level how and why I think this is the case, if there is enough evidence to substantiate it. Don't get me wrong. I can't do that with every single theory, because not a lot of the theories just don't have a lot of merit behind them, or at least so there's one recently that somebody asked me to look into where Mono is hanging, Six is holding him. Spoiler alert, because why? But when Mono's hanging, somebody speculated that if you're in first person, you can see Mono nod at 6, as if to say, yeah, let me go. And then she does. So he sort of agreed. He's like, yeah, you go ahead, just let me die. You go. And while that does have merit, and it is a very curious situation and it is worth looking into, I can't justify making an entire video based on 3 seconds worth of footage. So I'd have to speculate everything around it, which is interesting and would be fun to do, but it doesn't justify making an entire video. So please don't think that I'm being ignorant if you tell me about your theories and I don't make a video or I don't expand on them. But it's not that I don't want to, it's just that it's hard to justify, because these videos, these theory videos, they are hard. And when I say I do a bit of research, like when I say give me 48 hours, I will spend 40 of those hours doing the research. I'll have notes. I'll have books with pages upon page. I can't even see it. Pages upon pages upon pages of research, and and documents and screenshots and everything like that. And I'll do the math and I'll break it down and I'll study it and I'll have to play the game over and over and over again to make sure I'm right, and make sure I haven't slipped up. I'll have to record that footage so I can use it in my videos and everything. They're hard to make and they take a long time. So if I was to do a theory video on every single theory that people throw at me, I'd die before I get them all done. It's just impossible. So I have to make sure that the theory videos that I do pursue have a lot of merit and have a lot of evidence, so that I can substantiate the implied capabilities or the implications of said theory. Anyway, sorry, where am I? Gotta go. Making Valentine's gifts for my friend. Happy Valentine's. Oh, happy Valentine's, Vinny. I hope you have a great time and I hope your friend likes her presents as well. Here's her presents. I'm not sure. You just said my friend and I screwed up. Sorry. Alex the Frog. Welcome back, Nightmare. Nightmare's back? Oh, hello, Nightmare. Yes, you are back, but you retracted the message. But I see that. That's okay. Tom Asher, why can't he hear us? I can hear you. I'm just so far behind because the chat is like crazy and I'm one guy and you are 33. I'm trying, Tom. I'm sorry. Jason says, what do you think about the story of the yellow raincoat? I think it's obvious it is weared by Cece firstly. Yeah, I think so. I think that Cece was the first, like the OG raincoat wearer. Now, I think that she could have got it, and that's why I considered in a video of mine called The Flashlight Theory, again, shameless self-plug, but I think that Cece was the girl in the yellow raincoat. It's possible that she was the original owner, and then she lost it, and then Six got it. And that's why Otto becomes like audibly perturbed when Noon mentions she saw a yellow raincoat. Otto stops her recount, and he's like, wait, yellow raincoat? What, was anyone else there? So he's like, obviously it means something to him. And it could be that when Cece went missing, she was wearing a yellow raincoat. So yeah, you're right. That's an absolute possibility. Detective Fallen. Haha, and Jem can defend himself as much as we love him. Yeah, no, I like to think I can defend myself. I can throw a punch. At least I don't like fighting, but yeah, I can defend myself if I need to. Still can't find your message in George's server, so I don't know if I'm in the wrong or some. Maybe chat with someone. Yeah. Don't worry, Faceless. I will drop me a comment. In fact, yeah, I'll tell you what. Faceless, drop me a comment on any video, and I will intentionally look out for it, and I'll reply to that comment directly with contact information for you. Just pick any video, and I will see it, because I'm going to go through comments after anyway. A Room with a View is a really sad soundtrack. Yes, it is, especially if you played the DLC. Tom Asher says, I think that the reason Roger is not affected by the eye is because he had something in his pocket or something he's wearing, but the chefs don't, because they don't need to get around everywhere. Yeah, see, the chefs never really come into contact with the eye, that's absolutely right, whereas Roger passes through the prison. And you notice that them all seeing eyes, you only really find them in the prison section down below, in the deep down below the waves. There's a foreboding place on which you won't escape. The eyes seem to be there to keep people trapped within that area, and you're absolutely right, Roger does have to traverse that area. So it's possible. And the chefs, you're right, they seem to be confined to the kitchen and their sleeping quarters, and then the restaurant itself. But they don't need to pass by the eye. So yeah, it could be that Roger is protected from it by something. Because you do see him walk straight through the eye. Absolutely. I remember bringing that up in my last Let's Play, actually. It has been it's been confirmed that Necropolis is the first chapter. Interesting, I didn't realise that, Go Games. Thanks for clearing that up. Where was it confirmed? Just so that people know, because people will ask questions. I believe you, but it's always best to have a citation. Gemini, I think a game that you would love is the Dying Light franchise. If you've never played it, it's one of my favourite story games. Dying Light, is that from Supermassive? Because I think I might have seen Dying Light before. Is it with Supermassive where it's like a team in Afghanistan, the military team of like special forces units, and they explore like an underground cavern and they end up finding like vampire monsters down there? Was that one? Because that was pretty dope. Like the dialogue was all over the place, or at least the voice acting was. But I think the game itself was good and the monster design was great. Really liked them vampires. If that is the one, please tell me if I'm wrong though. Given that the developers said that there aren't any builders in the nowhere, do you think that the structure just sort of grow out of the ground like plants? Like as time progresses in the real world and people modernise, do you think the nowhere mirrors that but in a non-organic way? Absolutely, and that's really cool. Alex, that's a brilliant theory, and it goes back to what I was saying earlier. Now, I read a story ages ago. It was a creepypasta called How to Survive in Hell. And it was basically a step-by-step on what hell really is and how to survive should you end up there. And it's just a story from as far as I'm aware, but that is exactly what it is. It's like we imagine, like they describe a city that's very much like the nowhere. It's just this enormous city called the City of Dis, and Dis is just like a mismatch of every different type of structure from every different timeline. So there's like mud huts from Africa next to skyscrapers from New York, next to standard communal housing like there is in my town, down to stone housing that you would have found thousands of years ago. It's just everything. Any kind of dwelling you can imagine just seemingly appears as time goes on. And the people there are all essentially immortal because they just keep on getting reborn into the same body. And they're reborn in these big flesh sacks that grow on the buildings and eventually burst, or you claw your way out of in one way or another. And then you end up on the ground, you have to fight, and eventually you'll die, and you'll end up back in one, reborn in hell, and that's how hell works in this story. But it's kind of how I imagine the nowhere. Like, that's how I would describe the nowhere, because that's what we see. We see a little bit of everything, don't we? It's really hard to pin down the timeline. I seem to think that a lot of the nowhere is inspired by Britain in the 1950s and 60s, due to the aesthetic of the school, the hospital, and the Pale City being quite similar to the place I live. Because where I live, we live pretty close to a city called York, which hasn't changed an awful lot since the 1950s. And walking through the city of York is absolutely beautiful. It's like going back in time. But a lot of the aesthetics of York are very, very similar to the nowhere. Very, very similar. It's almost creepy, but it's great, and that's why I love visiting the city. In fact, I did research for my first big theory called the Candyland theory in York. I went to speak to some specialists at the museum there to gather information, because I wanted to be able to relay this information to you guys and make comparisons and cross-reference my information that I was getting, but I didn't want it to be wrong. So I thought, well, I'll go talk to the professionals and they'll know, and they'll be able to tell me firsthand. So I went to a museum and talked to them, and turns out I was right, but I don't know if I'm right about the theory. We won't know until it comes out. Anyway, sorry. I tend to go out on tangents. Also, where can I join George's Discord? Try George's channel. If you pop over here, it's just George's channel. It could very well be in his description, or go on to Reddit and just type in Little Nightmares, because George runs the Little Nightmares Reddit community as well. Ianis DeHez says the soundtrack from the DLCs and the trailers is pretty good too. Yeah, I think all of them are. I particularly like the Gnomes. What is it? In the DLC, I like the soundtrack that plays where you're in the you're in the factory area with the gnomes. I just think the gnomes tune is kind of light-hearted, and it sort of takes away from the fear factor a bit. It takes the pressure off you. You're surrounded by gnomes and they're having a little wander about, and the music that's playing is kind of bouncy and bubbly, sort of like it plays in it sort of alludes to the gnome in the attic track from Little Nightmares 2. I really like it. It is really cool. Also, I'm sorry that I'm so pink. I don't know why I'm so pink. I think it's because my light is struggling to figure out like what colour I'm supposed to be. Yeah, it's not really sure what it's doing with itself, but either way, I apologise if I look a little bit odd. I've never used this format before. It's a bit strange for me. Sorry, I keep losing myself. The chat is really small, by the way. Because I don't want to miss any messages, I've got the chat box like maxed out, but it means that the text is tiny, so I'm having to get real close to my screen to see it, because my screen is massive as well. It's like 30 inches, so like it's not a... And I don't want to lean too close to the camera so that you guys can see up my nose. I'm sure you don't want that on Valentine's Day. Is my gift to you. I don't really like the idea of co-op in Little Nightmares. I don't know how single player is going to work. I think the single player is going to work exactly the same as it works in Little Nightmares 2. I don't think you've got anything to worry about. I agree that co-op might take away from the pressure and the atmosphere, which is why the first time I'm playing it, I'm going to be playing it on my own, by myself with an AI companion. Because I think that if anything, the AI is going to be exactly the same as 6 works with Mono in this one. I don't think it's going to be like glitchy or janky or awkward or anything. I don't think it's going to take away from the gameplay. It's pretty dope. I'm quite stoked about the idea of it being a 2-player game, but it's not my forte. I just like having the option, but that's the thing. It is an option. You do have the choice. It's not saying you have to play 2-player. It's just saying you can if you want to. Got it, thanks so much, and yeah, that's fair. Awesome, no probs. Abyss is back, hello, hello. Man, you can call me whatever you want, you're like my favourite YouTuber. Thanks so much. I really appreciate that, Mel. Do you think James King is a cool name? Yeah, James King is a dope name. You sound like a philosopher. James King is a dope name. And also, thank you. If I'm actually your favourite YouTuber, that really does mean the world to me. That's very, very exciting to hear. For me, people always ask why I do it. This is why. The response, it's like, oh, you just want to be famous. I don't. I couldn't give less of an F. It doesn't bother me about being famous. It's just nice to be able to do something I love, and well, get paid for it. It's don't get me wrong. This isn't like my life. Or like my ambition. It is my ambition, but it's not like I'm not dedicating my entire life to it. I understand that it doesn't work for everybody, but just the fact that I have a community. So when I'm having days like this, like Valentine's Day for me sucks. It's miserable. I don't do anything on Valentine's Day. I literally just shut myself in and I consume copious amounts of sugar. Because like I'll treat it as a holiday, so I'm allowed to consume sugar. Because normally I'm on a diet. I'm really strict because I'm at the gym every day. Valentine's Day and like a lot of other special occasions that people celebrate don't mean anything to me, but they mean something to my community and the people in in the world, like in the Little Nightmares universe, but in other communities as well. So it's nice to be able to do something to give a little back. Hey, Clomore. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, but hello. How did you find all the upcoming Little Nightmares books' names? I cannot remember. I don't remember where I saw them. I do. I was looking for this. So this is a hardback copy, like a limited edition hardback copy thing of the comics, and I was looking for this. Because I didn't own the original comics and I missed an opportunity to buy them when they first came out, so I was looking for that, and then when I bought this I seen there was other things and I thought they were like fan-made books or something like that that had come out just after the Sounds of Nightmares, but they weren't. They were official books like written by I think they were written by Bandai or whoever. I'm not sure, I'll have to look that up again. I don't know an awful lot about those because they're literally just on. They're not even available for pre-order, but they are on. I've got them wish listed. You can wish list them on certain websites. I've forgotten what the website is now. I was searching on Google and Amazon, and it found me a website, something like Reedy, or Readily or something like that. I don't remember. If I remember, in fact, I'll have a look into it after this, and I might link it in the channel description. I'll edit it after the stream so you guys can go and have a look for yourself. But yeah, there are official books coming out, and I think they're due for release either before or after the release of Little Nightmares 3. And they sound pretty dope, so I'm going to look into those. But I found them by looking for that. No, I was looking for that book that I've put in the wrong place. It lives here until I get shelves. Okay, where are we? Oh god, I'm miles away, sorry. There's something you should see regarding Little Nightmares 3. What is it, Clomori? And I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. Clomori. Glunk Inc. Did something new get released? Yeah, tell us. Tell us, Clomori. Let us know. I did actually post a new video for Valentine's Day, so if you're not busy, you can check it out if you want. I will check it out. I can't do it now because if I try and go on YouTube now, it'll shut down my stream because I need YouTube open, but it has to be on my live stream page, as you probably know because you're a YouTuber. But I will check it out, and I'll probably leave you a little comment and let you know what I think. Ethan from The Sounds of Nightmares might be the runaway kid. Yeah, absolutely. I think George speculated that. One of George's theories speculated that runaway kid could be Ethan. Because of the shackle. Like, the shackle on his leg might be a dead giveaway for it. Absolutely a possibility. Nightmare, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but in the part of the first game where the guests enter the moor, you can see there's a giant opening, and when it goes underwater, how the heck does it not flood? I think that's what the chains are for. So, you know them big massive chains that you see moving where you can hear the clunk, 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 just before you go out to the guests where they're marching onto the ship. I think them chains close what are called bulkheads. They have bulkheads on things like submarines and ship hulls and things like that. They're basically airtight, waterproof pockets that stop the ship from sinking. Or stop the water getting in and flooding the place. I think the moor just has these enormous bulkheads which come down after the moor goes down under the water. By the way, I noticed something in the Little Nightmares 2 trailer that was Mono was originally going to wake up in the beach and he didn't have his paper bag, and I always thought it was interesting. Yeah, very interesting. Now, it's strange because I was thinking that because he's featured with his paper bag in the box art, and Six is featured in a raincoat in the box art. But the plan was for neither of them to start with these items, so it could be that they both unlock their true. Both unlock their true colours eventually. It's absolutely a possibility, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure why. I did see the. I know which trailer you're talking about, where Mono wakes up on the beach, because that's my favourite trailer. But I didn't realise that was supposed to be the start of the game. But really interesting though, really cool. It could be that the original paper bag hat was something that we were going to have to use, like perhaps Mono wearing a hat was going to be a mechanic of some description. You know, like he had to hide his face for some reason. In fact, it's described, Mono's described as wearing a paper bag, so you know, to hide the fact that everything hates him. So it could be something to do with Mono's appearance or the effect that his face has on the rest of the world. Because obviously the only person who sees... everyone who sees Mono without his mask tries to kill him, including his newfound best friend. So the bag definitely has a valid place. I just don't know exactly what it could be. I think Roger was given something to protect him against the eye. Ferryman. Sorry, bad spelling. Don't worry about your spelling. Absolutely fine. I totally understand. And yeah, it's possible that Roger was given something by the ferryman as well. Because I speculated before that Law was given his anklet. You know, the blue and red anklet that I'm not wearing at the moment. This. I think Law was given one of these as an amulet from the ferryman to protect him from whatever's in the mirrors, and that's why he can travel through them safely, but Alone can't. So Alone travels through the mirrors and breaks them by accident, like unintentionally, but Law doesn't. And it's possible that Roger has one of those of his own, and he could very well have got it from the ferryman that protects him from the all-seeing eye. Definitely a possibility. Mickey Miranda, I really loved your theory on Lowe's anklet and how you incorporated your own experience in jewellery. Yeah, exactly. I was a jeweller for years and I loved jewellery. I was really good at selling it because I didn't have to pretend I liked any particular piece, because I was able to see the value in each and every piece, each and every stone, every facet, every piece of metal. I thought it all had its own, that I even designed some of my own. I actually put my favourite one on a canvas downstairs that one day I'll show with you guys. I'll share it on stream or something like that when I can be bothered taking it off the wall. But yeah, I love jewellery, and I really like to incorporate my own knowledge, because it's one thing to do research, but it's also really cool and it makes you feel really accomplished if you see something and you know. Like, you know what's going on there. I can only imagine what people in the food industry, like professional chefs, I can only imagine their thoughts and feelings when they play Little Nightmares 1 and they see the chefs working, and the tools that they use and the food that they prepare and how they keep everything in the warehouse. That must really grate on professionals from the food industry. I've never really worked in the food industry, so I don't know. I couldn't handle the heat. I know chefs, and they are some of the hardest working people on earth, and they're not to be messed with either. Don't piss off the guy with the meat cleaver. But yeah, I think that's really cool to be able to incorporate your own knowledge. And thank you so much for your kind words. I really appreciate it. Yo, Gem, Altac, yo, what's up? Notorious Bass, I made it, so happy to watch this legend. Hey, Notorious Bass, you're an absolute legend, mate, and I'm so glad that you're here. I'm really glad to see you, my guy. So glad you can make it. Thanks for stopping by. I just discovered Notorious Bass's channel recently because he plays a game called Resident Evil on a professional level, as in the guy never gets hit. He is untouchable. And if you guys are into Resident Evil and you like seeing professional gamers, check him out, because he absolutely smashes that game. Proper veteran. As much as I would love to see 6 to be in it, it's going to be amazing either way. I'm so stoked. I'm pre-ordering it as soon as the digital pre-orders go live. Me too. Like, basically, whatever copy gives you the most. So, like, they give you the Little Nightmares 2, give you the options for, like, the TV edition that came with the art book and everything. I was like, immediately get that. So as long as I can afford it, I'll dive straight on that. Straight away. Vikinky80. There are a lot of theories for who the granny is and how she ended up in the depths. What's your opinion on the matter, and what theory do you believe in? Ooh, it's a tough one. I think Jord might have speculated before that the granny was a previous lady of the mall, and it could be that she's banished to the depths after reaching a certain age, because the lady has to be, she obviously takes her appearance very seriously. She spends a lot of time in the mirror, she's brushing her hair, she's very well kept, she dresses nicely, her hair's pretty, and she wears a mask to hide her face and any imperfections. And then obviously when we catch her with her imperfections, she gets irate and frustrated and breaks the mirror and then chases you. And takes her appearance very, very seriously. And she looks a lot like the granny. So it could be that, much like there is a speculation around the Thin Man being the signal tower's big bad. He's a puppet of the signal tower. And if he dies, he's replaced. And whoever replaces him grows to become another Thin Man, like another signal guy. Well, it could be, and I speculated before, that the Maw could be a living organism, much like the signal tower, and the lady of the Maw is the controller of it, and then whoever takes over from the lady becomes the new lady. And that's why we see pictures of the lady standing among 5 of her peers, or 4 of her peers. It could be 5, it could be 4. Yeah, it's 4. So there's 4 behind her and then there's her. It could very well be that that's the case, and I think George's probably onto something there. I haven't looked into it enough myself. But also having the granny as her name, I think, has some implications as well as to her role and her position. Obviously, she's the granny, so it could be that she's the granny, so she's like the older generation. Then there's the lady, who is like essentially the mother or the second generation, and then the 6, who could possibly, potentially, and I don't know anything, take over from her, given that she kills the lady, takes her power, but she's, from what we know, trapped on the Maw. So she could use that ghastly power that she receives to take over them all, which she does. She goes in, she whoops everyone, she swallows all of their souls, and then she's just like, yeah, look at me, I am the captain now. And she takes over the place. So I think that's what the granny could be. I think Jord is right on that. I haven't made my own opinion because I feel like Jord nailed it. And I don't like to repeat people's theories, and I don't like to steal other people's content. While my content itself is essentially basically what Jord does, a Little Nightmares theorist, and he is the OG Little Nightmares theorist. I like to think that all of my theories are entirely my own. Because that's another reason why I don't look up other Nightmares theorists like Spill the Theories and Terrico and people like that, because I'd like to get all of my own thoughts and theories and opinions out there in the world first, and then look at other people's and consider them, because I would hate to put something out there that's inspired by one of these other great theorists, only for people to come back at me and say, you obviously stole this from Terrico, you obviously stole this from Spill the Theory. That's never my intention. You obviously stole this from Jord. That's why I credit Jord in every video, because I've watched all of Jord's videos, I've watched all of his theories, and I absolutely have no intention of taking any of his content. None of his theories are mine, but they do inspire mine. So I credit him in every video so that you guys can be sure, I'm not stealing anything, I promise. I'm just trying to be a part of the community. Anyway, sorry. Again, getting distracted. The Hideaway DLC is the glitchiest thing Little Nightmares has seen. Those are always glitchy. Yeah, they are. I think it's just hard for it to keep up because the game... Bear in mind, this was an indie game. Little Nightmares 1 was a very, very small... Tarsier is a very small studio. They're just incredible. It's easy to believe. It's easy to become disillusioned with the fact that Tarsier originally... were like a AAA studio, like a high level, high profile, big budget studio. They're not. They're very small, very condensed, very family orientated, from what I can gather, and they still managed to produce such a legendary piece. That's why it's so easy to think, these guys are obviously huge. They're not that huge. So there will be a couple of glitches here and there. There will be a couple of shortcomings, but I think we can forgive them all based on how good Little Nightmares is. When are you expecting Little Nightmares 3 to come out? I think it's going to be a summer release. I just feel like that gives them ample time, because it's pretty much it's almost a year from the initial release. So 9 months from the announcement, which I think is ample time. I feel like summer would be a good time for the release, given other games that Bandai are intending to release at the time. And they may have alluded to it in the release of the statue. The statue that I'm doing in the giveaway today, that Together, the Together diorama, that is actually coming out released. I will receive mine, and whoever wins the giveaway today will receive theirs in July. So it could be that the game will come out around June, July time. So I think it's going to be a summer release. Gotta go. Good night, everybody. Good night, Dehez. Bro, don't apologise for promoting your channel on your own channel. Yeah, I know. But it's sometimes people get a little bit funny because it's yeah. Halal Boy says 1v33. Yep, me versus 33 of you guys. I'm trying to keep up, I promise. It's just a little bit difficult. Yo, Detective in with the dono as well, my guy. Thank you so much, Detective Fallen, a member in the building, no less. Thank you so much, my dude. I really, really appreciate the donos. Donations like that are what allow me to keep going. They really are. And again, I'm not trying to encourage anybody to make donations, and I understand that a lot of you guys are too young to do so, even if you wanted to. But I need it to be clear that it's very, very much appreciated. Thank you so much, Detective. That's so cool of you, my guy. I'm really glad you can make it. In Little Nightmares 3, I want more of an explanation on why the eye is everywhere. Yeah, so do I, because I've made a lot of speculations about it, and I've got a couple of thoughts and theories and stuff, but we don't know any of them are confirmed. So until they are, we don't know anything, do we? Oh, stop jumping! Sorry, chat's flying by for me. Very amusing stream. Hope the rest of it goes well. Oh no, Detective! Oh, Detective made me a lovely dono, and he left me a nice comment, and then he left, and I missed him. I'm so sorry, dude. I'm going to write to him after this. Yeah, I'm so sorry if I'm not keeping up, guys. I am trying, I promise. This is why I do these streams, because if the channel gets much more popular, it will get to a point where I cannot keep up. It's not that I don't want to. I really do. I want to read them all. I want to respond to them all. I want to be like in touch with you guys, but it's just impossible when it goes so fast. I'm not upset about the fact that there's so many of you. I'm upset about the fact that there's so little of me. I wish that I could do more to engage with you guys. Ethan can't be Ethan can't be RK because if Cece is 6 and she is already in nowhere. Yeah, possibly that's a difficult one. Again, it all depends on time frames and how time works. Like, we're still not sure if time in the nowhere is a linear concept like it is to us as human beings, or if it's like just multi-layered. We'll have to find out. But your point is valid, Nightmare. Absolutely. Halal Boy, Roger is the only blind one we see in the games. Maybe that's a reason why he's not affected by the eye. Yeah, exactly. It could be like he might intentionally pull down his mask, number one, for the eye, so it can't affect him, and number two, so that the signal from the television doesn't get him either. You notice that he is attracted to the TV, but he's not warped by it and stolen by it. Like, he's able to turn it off and walk away from it because he's blind. So maybe the signal is like dampened by the fact that he intentionally blinds himself so that he can't be affected. Because the thing is, we know that Roger ran from the Pale City. He escaped the Pale City and fled to the Maw. Like, that's what's stated in his character bio. So if he fled the Pale City, he knows what's going on there. And as you can see in the Pale City, a lot of the viewers, a lot of the denizens of the Pale City, they've destroyed their televisions en masse, thrown them out into the streets and tried to get rid of them. The hunter disposed of his, like, miles away from his cabin. He threw it away. Mono jumps out of it, but it's like half a mile away from his cabin. They don't want to be possessed by the signal tower, but the people that are left in the nowhere in the Pale City that are affected by the televisions are, and they can't help it. They can't control their actions. Roger didn't want that for himself, so he covers his face to protect himself. He'd rather walk around blind than suffer the effects of the signal tower. WTF, something just ran past the bottom right of your screen. I don't doubt that, Robert. I don't doubt that at all. But just know, like, I feel confident in knowing that if there's anything in my house, I am the scariest thing in this building. I promise you. It would be a terrible idea for someone to come into this house. I'm just saying. Don't break in here. Unless you want to die here. What I think Ferryman means by sinking, as what he tells Noon, is to let yourself succumb to the Nowhere's corruptive influence and grow up as one of its monsters at the price of their innocence. Yeah, he could be. That's the thing, because there's a lot of people that would imply that the Ferryman is a good guy, and he's trying to rescue the children from the rubbish life that they have outside of the Nowhere in the counties, in Noon's case, or wherever it happens to be that they're from. But yeah, it could be that he's absolutely, he could be a bad guy. He could be feeding the Nowhere. Like, he could be like the Grim Reaper. I mentioned it before, where he could be like, so there is another name for the ferryman called Charon. And Charon, from Greek mythology, was a ferryman. He was like a Grim Reaper in a boat, and he would literally take the souls of the damned across the River Styx into the afterlife. But you would have to pay a toll. Otherwise, he'd drop you in the river, and you would sink into the river and be damned by it. So he could be a play on that concept, which is cool. But we don't know if he's actually a good guy trying to help or not, because Charon, the Reaper in Greek mythology, the ferryman of Greek mythology, he's not a bad guy, but he's not a good guy. He's completely indifferent. He's just doing his job. He's like, I'll take you across a river. Do you have it? Can you pay me? No? Well, off you go. It's not because he's evil. That's his job. That's his entire position. Maybe the ferryman is a similar concept. I can't wait anymore for this game. Can someone contact Bandai Namco? I would. I absolutely would. But I don't think they'll tell me anything. As far as Little Nightmares is concerned, I'm a nobody. I'm just a small time theorist on YouTube. But if they're watching this stream and are interested in what I have to say, then by all means reach out to me, Bandai. But if the all-seeing eye of Bandai Namco is not watching me, I'm not surprised. I don't expect them to. Because obviously, if they came to me and they gave me a release date, I would also have to sign an NDA, and I would not be able to share that with you guys. So even if I know now, I can't tell you. And I don't, because trust me, I'd feel differently if I did. In Pill City, in a restaurant, there are clothes on the chairs, like there was a body inside the clothes and they just disappeared. Maybe a girl on the raft took the raincoat and disappeared because of the same reason. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Solamax is back. Hello, Esquisita. I'm sorry, that's a stupid. That's my pronunciation. It's the stupidest I have the stupidest tongue in the world and I can't keep up and my chat is really small. But hello, it's no problem. You're a little late, but here you are. And hi chat too. Hello, Esquisita. It's lovely to see you. Happy Valentine's Day. Really, really glad you could make it. Jason, back to your point, sorry. I think that was probably an early concept for what was going on in the nowhere. I thought that maybe... I think this might be what happens to the people in the nowhere that are good. So maybe the people in the nowhere are corrupted by it. But when they fight it, you know, when they fight against the instinct, when they fight against the corruption of the nowhere and the influence, like the negative influence of it, and they become good, then they are basically raptured and taken up to heaven. So, you know, you remember I said how the nowhere is kind of like hell or purgatory, and they're kept there to be evil and explore their like sadistic creativity, like the teacher and the chefs and everybody else that we come across. Well, all of the good people, it could be that we don't see any good people because they were all raptured up to heaven or wherever the next astral plane is after life. And that's why the clothes are left behind, because they're just zapped up out of their clothes and into the higher plane. But again, like random theory, there's nothing to like pertain to that at all. I've got no evidence to support that at all, but it was just fun to think about. Clamori. Okay. So Gemini, if you look towards the bottom right, the Little Nightmares 3 poster, you will see a new enemy hiding in a hole. It looks like a clown. I made a short showing this. You should go take a look. It looks like a clown wearing a top hat and a weirdly long neck. Glad I spotted it because nobody else has talked about it. Oh my days. Send me that screenshot immediately. In fact, I will check out your channel and I will go out and have a look. I'm not able to do that now because, as you know, as a YouTuber yourself, if I try and go on YouTube now, I have to have YouTube open on my live stream screen to keep all of my analytics up and everything like that. And if I click off it, the stream will end. And I'm not prepared to do that just yet, but I will check this out because I am super excited to see your short. Very, very cool and well spotted. Very, very good observation, because I have looked that over so many times and I've never seen that. So excellently done. Excellently done. Can't wait to see it, dude. Very excited. Ciandro Samueli. I'm sorry about just butchering your name, but it's really cool and fun to say. Gemini, do you think 6 is Noon? I've made multiple connections between 6 and her. I think Noon's parasite may be a parallel for 6's hunger. Wow, yeah, cool. That's a cool, actually, yeah, a very good observation and a cool speculation. Now, Ciandro says that Noon's parasite. Now, Noon had a water parasite. She was infected, wasn't she? She was sick. And now she has like a growth, like a tumour on her brain. But yeah, so it could be that that thing is manifested in the nowhere as the negative side of 6, which is her hunger, which could be Dark 6. Dark 6 could be a manifestation of the parasite. That's really cool. What an interesting concept. Didn't even think of that. Really good. Really good. Yeah, very, very interesting. I like that a lot. Ciandro Samueli, thank you for that. Really, really cool thing to think about. Jason says, I mean the girl on the raft when you went to the Pale City and her body disappeared there. And the cloth fall on a random place, 6 found. Hey, don't worry about your grammar mistakes, it's absolutely fine. A lot of people in the chat, English isn't their first language, and my English is garbage, as you can probably tell by listening to me talk for the better part of 2 hours. I slip up often myself too. You don't need to apologise, I absolutely understand. And yeah, you're right, I do think that does have some merit, because we actually see this happen quite frequently throughout the nowhere, in a comment that somebody made earlier on. Jason, you actually made this comment earlier on. Yeah, it was you. It was in fact you that said that people sometimes are just sucked out of their clothes. Like the people who were sitting in the cafe area and the person on the bench, you just see their briefcase, their suit, their top hat, their shoes, everything is left in its entirety, but the body isn't there. Similar to like after the pretender touches someone and they just fall out of their clothes and disappear and get atomized. Yeah, that's cool. Solomax, Otto's word sweets for my sweet could be a reference to the candy in the garbage in a Little Nightmares Twitter post on Halloween. I don't know though. Yeah, it absolutely could. In fact, ever since my first ever theory was called the Little Nightmares... no, it wasn't. It was called the Candyland theory. And I speculated that the factory that we explore in Little Nightmares 3 is a candy factory. And I've got a bunch of evidence to support the idea. Again, it's not confirmed and I don't know for certain, but I feel quite confident about it. But there are quite a lot of references to candy in pretty much everything they've said. So when Sounds of Nightmares reached 1 million listens, they put out a Twitter post of Otto's desk. And it had Noon's brain scan on it. It had her case file and his coffee, and it had a dish of spiral candies. And also, like you said, there's a couple of different screenshots where you can see lollipops, like spiral lollipops, or pictures of spirals. Like the spiral is definitely somewhat really important, and I think it pertains just as much to the candy as it does to the place that we're exploring. I think they might be interlinked in one way, but I'm not sure what it could be. The Little Nightmares soundtracks are some of my favourites. Yeah, I couldn't agree more, NB. They are absolutely dope. It's some of the best music I've heard as far as it goes. Like, you can hear it now probably. Like, this soundtrack that you're listening to right now is from the Little Nightmares OST. I wish I could hear it. I can't because I haven't got my headphones. And even if I did, like, OBS won't play it for me. So I hope it's loud enough for you guys and you're not just being like assaulted with my voice screaming into the microphone right now. Where are we? Also, in recent Little Nightmares 2 posts, they showed a paper bag saying that Noon's number was 122, another number that looks like a 1, but it has a coffee stain. And if it's a 1, that would add up to 6. Yeah, interesting, actually. Oh. Interesting. Noon's number is 122. Somebody pointed out the other day that 122... Okay, bear with me. Like, let me think about this for a second. If Noon's number was 122, the word noon can be extended to mean no one. But if shortened, it could also mean noon afternoon. You know, like noon as in midday. 12 o'clock. 122. So it would 12, 2. 122. So it's 12, it's the second 12 of the day. So the first 12 is obviously midnight, first thing in the morning, when the date changes. It's the second time the clock hits 12. That's noon. Maybe that's why it's 122 or 12-2, the second 12. Noon. Maybe. I don't know. Number logic. But possibly, and that was really cool to think about. Thank you. Very interesting. And yeah, and if it is a 1, it would add up to 6 as well. I'm going to have a look at that post and find out exactly what you mean. But a very cool speculation all the same. Plasmatic says, what if some of the children can fully resist the call of the nowhere and the manipulations of the ferryman depending on the strength of their heart, wit and will, long enough to no longer be allowed into the nowhere? An absolute possibility. But I think also, if any of them are able to entirely resist, then they would just be kept in the real world. So like if they're able to entirely resist the draw of the nowhere and the pull of the ferryman's influence, they would never be in the nowhere, full stop. So we would never get to experience their story because they're just too strong mentally or physically or whatever it might be. Whatever it is that prevents them from getting into the nowhere means that they just won't, like, they won't be that. Oh, in fact, unless you mean that they're already in the nowhere. Sorry. Yeah, I might have misread that. Let me clarify. Yeah, if they're already in the nowhere, but they find a way to resist for so long without being corrupted, like obviously 6 was, without succumbing to it or dying in it, then it could be that they are pulled out somehow. but I don't know how. Maybe that's what Low and Alone do. Like, maybe they seem to resist it for so, because it does it specifies in Low's bio that he's been there for a long time. So we can assume that Alone probably has as well, because she's a tinkerer and she's obviously like dressed for the occasion. She's been there. She's a seasoned veteran of the Nowhere as well. Maybe not as long as Low, but she is. Maybe they will be an example of what you just said. Maybe they're in the Nowhere, they're trapped there, and then they can resist its pull for so long that they find a way to escape, because that's what they're trying to do. In fact, Low, it's specified in their bios that that's what they're trying to do. They've got to navigate the spiral in order to find their way home. They'll find a way out of the Nowhere. So yeah, absolutely, that could be what happens. Maybe you just have to resist and survive for long enough. Tom Asher, you're my favourite YouTuber. This is the best. I feel like I have a bunch of friends. You do have a bunch of friends, Tom. We're all your friends because we're all here. We're all speculating together. It's great to have you here. And thank you for your really kind words. I super appreciate that. If I'm your favourite YouTuber, that's amazing. Because that puts me on that puts me on a serious pedestal. Because my favourite YouTubers are some of my favourite people in the world. And like yourself, like my favourite YouTubers help to pull me out of a really dark place. Like, even if I haven't met them in real life, they gave me hope, and they brought me a sense of belonging, just by having me, like, letting me be included in their communities and being a part of something bigger. So like they didn't even know me, but they essentially saved my life, and it's really cool to think that if people think I'm their favourite YouTuber, that maybe I could have that kind of influence on them by being like the friend they've never met. I like that concept, so thank you so much for your kind words. That's very, very nice of you to say. Fulcrum, hello, I'm here. Question: why do you think the ferryman takes Noon into the Nowhere in the Threshold, and not the Nowhere itself? In the OG comics, the ferryman took the children to the mall after. Yeah, he did, but also bear in mind that the comics have been discontinued, and it could be that they've been discontinued because the narrative in the comics doesn't match the narrative that the direction that the series is going to take. So they might have intentionally changed that so that they could add a layer, sort of giving them an out, as it were. They'd already entered the Nowhere, but with Noon, she was only in the Threshold. Something to think about, because Otto was involved. Yeah, it could be. Like, maybe she was torn. Like, maybe she was only in the Threshold because it's like she's trying to listen to Otto, but she's being pulled back by Otto and she's being pulled in by the ferryman, and she's sort of caught in limbo in the middle, because this is like middle place, isn't there? There's the in-between. Is that what she called it? She called it something as well, like Noon specified the name of it, and I can't remember. I'm going to have to listen to Sounds of Nightmares again. I haven't listened to it for a while. Kuru, can you tell me the names of the books so I can put them on a notepad? I really want to know all the names. I know that one of the books is called, forgive me, what's it called? It'll come to me. It's something like Little Lost Things, but it's not. That's one of the OST names. The Lonely Ones. It's called The Lonely Ones. Little Nightmares, The Lonely Ones. Look that up. That's one of the names of the books. Sorry that took me so long. It's because, like, all I've seen is that title, but I don't even have a picture to register it to, because it doesn't have a cover art, it doesn't have a blurb, it doesn't have a description, it doesn't have anything, it doesn't even have a pre-order. It just exists on the website and is available to be wishlisted. So I'll receive an email when it comes out and is available for order. But otherwise, all I know is the title, and I barely know that, as is evident by my current brain fart. Plasmatic, I believe that one of those children could have been Otto's professor. Oh. As he knew about the Nowhere, having been there as a child, having been too good for it. Yeah, maybe. Maybe one of his professors was... maybe that's their experience. Maybe they knew of the Nowhere because they've been there and escaped. Maybe it's even one of the people we're about to meet. It could be someone we've already met. Who knows? Yeah, there could be a link in there, Plasmatic. That's really cool. Well done. Nice. Oh, shoot. Every time I scroll down, the chat just goes... I, like, lose where I was. Okay. Solamax. Interesting. If the Maw is a living organism, how would that work? It seems like a cool theory. Could you explain that more if you can? Yeah, you know how the signal tower, once you get in there as Mono and you ruin it, you take everything away from it. So you kill the Thin Man, you invade the signal tower, you destroy Six's connection to it, and then you pull her away. And you rescue her, then the signal tower starts to collapse in on itself and fail and reveal its true form, which is this mass of flesh and eyes that's like a living organism. The tower was alive. It was alive the whole time. It's always been alive, but it needs a vessel. Like, it needs a puppet. It needs something to control it. It needs a corporeal form. And without it, without a Thin Man, without a signal guy, without a nucleus to control and project itself through, it sort of collapses and fails. Well, the Maw could very well be the same thing. The Maw could be a living organism that's just a mess of flesh and eyes, but it depends on the lady. And when the lady dies, that's why there's a system of ladies that constantly take over, from the granny to the lady to the... If that's the case, we know that there's several ladies because there's a picture of them on the Maw. But yeah, so it could be that if we were to kill the lady and not take her place, maybe if Six kills the lady, absorbs her power, and then leaves the Maw, maybe the Maw will transform into some big fleshy octopus-looking thing. I don't know what kind of form it would take, but that's kind of what I think would happen if I'm right about it being a spectral, like its own entity. James King says, you are on the level of It's Just Jordan, don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Thank you so much. That's huge, because Just Jordan is like an hero to me. He's I've been following Just Jordan for years. I think he's great. I remember when Just Jordan had less subscribers than I do. I remember the days when Just Jordan had like 5,000 subs. And he was just playing the game, just playing Little Nightmares. He hadn't even explored Poppy Play. Poppy Playtime wasn't a thing. It wasn't even out. So to see him grow and to see him become like this like influencer that he's... Well, I don't know if he'd like me calling him an influencer, actually, but I was influenced by him, so he kind of is. But yeah, a lot of love for Just Jordan. I don't put myself on the same level, but I really, really appreciate your kind words. If you guys put me on that pedestal, like if you think I'm on the same level, if you think my content is on par with his, then that is a massive, massive compliment to me. But please don't let that influence your opinion on Jord either, because Jord is the OG. And without him, I would not be doing this. It's that simple. So if you like what I do, you'll love Jord. Because, to me, Jord is just better. If we're on the same level, fantastic. But to me, Jord is king. He will always be the king of this game. Wait, is Gemini getting one of those statues, the contest ones? Yeah, I am, buddy, yeah. So Glunk Inc. says, am I getting one? And yes, I am. I've pre-ordered 2. One of them is for me, and it's going to go on. So just behind me, there's an empty wall, as you can see. Well, that wall's going to have a shelf on it in the next couple of months, and it's going to have lights and stuff, and it's going to look cool, hopefully. I'm going to have to save up a bit of money so I can afford it, but it's going to have some of my collectibles and stuff on there, and that diorama is going to be Pride of Place, and I've pre-ordered 2 of them because I want one, obviously, for me, but the other one is going to be given away today. Well, not today. The result of the giveaway will be it will be open to the public tomorrow. So me and my team will do a count of all of the entries over the next 24 hours once the video goes. Once the stream ends, and so is what's going to happen. Sorry, stream's going to end. Then the live chat's going to become rereadable, and then me and my team are going to go through it, count up all of the entries. Then they're all going to get put into a random name generator, and then I'm going to announce the winner via community post. So if you guys haven't got the bell rang, please do, because you don't want to miss it. Because if whoever wins doesn't claim their prize within 72 hours, I'll have to pick somebody else. You won't actually receive it until July 2024, because that's when it comes out. I won't get mine until July 2024, but it's been ordered and paid for already. And obviously I've got 2, so I will be giving one of them away in the next 24 hours. You should do one of these streams while playing the DLC. Yeah, I probably should. It's just a bit difficult to play the game. That's actually why I'm not playing the game right now. The game is fired up. It's still on my screen over there. but it's just hard to play and keep up. As you can see, I'm struggling to keep up with the chat, and I haven't taken my eyes off it for 2 hours. But if I was playing the game, I'd miss a bunch of comments, and you've all seen me play the game, and I've got videos online that you can watch where I play the game multiple times. So I don't want to play the games and risk missing what some of you guys have to say, because the idea is of these streams is so that you guys can ask me questions, give me your thoughts, theories, and speculate with me, and I will read them and address them in real time, rather than you guys leaving me a comment and just hoping that I see it, because I'll definitely see it. I just, like, whether or not I've got time to actually respond is all dependent on whether or not I'm working 90 hours this week or not, which I might be, and often do. I noticed that in the residence the clock reads 3. Perhaps it's 3 a.m. to add to the... Oh, it could be, yeah. They're 3. For those of you guys that don't know, 3 a.m. is commonly known or referred to as the witching hour. And it's meant to be spooky, and that's when, like, 3 a.m. is supposed to be when, like, the dark forces can enter. Like, that's where their connection to the real world is the strongest, at 3 a.m. Don't break into his home. We British are trained in stabbing intruders. Like, straight up, honestly. I wish that I had one of them all-seeing eyes that just turn people to stone. You guys, some of the veterans of this channel, and some of you guys that have been here in the last couple of months will recall that while I was live... while I was recording, somebody came up outside my house and literally firebombed my bin. Like, they put an explosive in my garbage and blew it up and ran away. So, like, my entire alleyway was just soaked in molten plastic. I was like, oh, great, thanks, guys, cheers. You know, but I spotted them doing that, and, like, if I looked out my window and seen them doing that, I'd have thrown a picture at their head and executed them. I wouldn't have done that. Not live. Sorry, where are we? I just need a little taste of a Little Nightmares 3. I'm going to go and say, I know. It's brutal. The wait is brutal, but it's going to be worth it. It has to be. Little Nightmares 2 was worth it, and they made us wait for years. So I would rather they take their time, you know, and just play it steady and work it out, like, so that the product that we get at the end is the best. Cannot believe the devs of Until Dawn did Little Nightmares 3. It looks exactly the same as... Yeah, exactly. They've really hit the nail on the head. It's because the thing is, and George said this actually in a video recently, that he doesn't think that Supermassive are going to screw it up, because they're not here to change the franchise. They're not here to change Little Nightmares. They're here to add to it. And although a lot of us don't like change and it's a bit nerve-wracking, they're going to be super nervous too. And they understand that the fan base, we're like a cult, aren't we? You know, like, they don't want to mess with our expectations. So that's probably why they're taking their time. They want to make sure that they hit it exactly right. They don't want to detract from what makes this franchise so lovable and relatable and likable. They're not trying to make it their own. They're trying to expand on it. In fact, the game that I'm playing right now, Little Nightmares 2 Enhanced Edition, they made. Like, they didn't make the game, but they had a hand in the Enhanced Edition. Supermassive Games actually put that together so that they could get a feel of it. They do have a lore Bible, so there's certain aspects of the lore that they just cannot change. And the gameplay mechanics and stuff that they just cannot change. So I don't think we're in for such a drastic change that we won't recognise it as Little Nightmares. We will. We already do, and we've only seen pre-alpha. Joshua Swanson, welcome to the stream. I'm sorry I didn't read your message sooner, but the remastered Tomb Raider trilogy came out today, so I'm perfectly content to wait for Little Nightmares 3. Yeah, to be fair, Tomb Raider is an amazing game. A lot of my friends are playing it. I didn't play Tomb Raider I did play it as a kid, but not very much. I was garbage at the game, so I put it down, never picked it back up. But I understand why a lot of people love Tomb Raider and the franchise. And if it keeps you stimulated until Little Nightmares 3 comes out, good. That you need something to pass the time. For me, I'll be playing Cuphead. Go Games, I'm so excited to see more sneak peeks of future Little Nightmares enemies in more trailers, and hopefully we get a release date trailer soon. as it was announced these 6 months ago. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think 6 months is long enough to give us something else. I know they've sort of been drip feeding us little bits, like, you know, the odd Twitter post and the occasional screenshot and things like that, but we haven't had anything significant to really deep dive and theorize on. That's what I'm hoping for too. Clamori says, what if the man in the purple suit from episode 4 of the podcast, if only we could see a clearer look at this new enemy, because it does look like he would be the main enemy of the carnival. See, it could be, because I think the purple suit guy, purple guy, oh no, it's a FNAF crossover. Oh no, and he has a puppet too. Oh shoot, here we go. Here come the crossover theories. Yeah, but purple suit guy and his puppet could actually be something. And it is really odd that we see a puppet. We see a carnival in the screenshots in Little Nightmares 3, and it's also featured very prominently in the Sounds of Nightmares in episode 4. Is it 4? I think you just said actually. Yeah, it's 4. Yeah, so absolutely, there could definitely be a relevance to that, and I hope we do, because I feel like that her description of the guy in the purple suit was really eerie. You know, the vibe he gives off was just strange and delirious and stuff, and I feel like that would be a really cool concept to explore. Listen to the podcast recently, and a couple of lines in episode 5 sparked something in me. I tried to find where the counties are in the real world. Thinking about making a video on it, but I will say right now, Minnesotans will be happy to hear that you are now the resident home of the counties. Interesting. Joshua Swanson, I would be intrigued to watch that video and see what you have to say on the matter, because I've speculated on where the counties could be, but it's difficult to find any way to cross-reference it, so I'd really like to see how you broke that down. Very cool. Very cool. Also, I just heard a bang outside, so if I duck, you'll know why. Six is back. Hello, Six. Who won the giveaway? Nobody knows, Six. The giveaway doesn't take place until tomorrow. Well, the giveaway is now, so like you can enter now, but the winner won't be announced until tomorrow, because me and my team are going to have to go through all of the entries in the interest of fair play, and obviously we have to give people a chance to enter before we do the giveaway. So the winner will be announced within the next 24 hours by community post. So ring your notification bell, because if you win, it'll be in the community post, and you'll find out that way. Okay, let's see, where am I? Let's go. Six, you're back. In here it's night time, so I will sleep now. Thanks for answering. No problem, Jason. No problem at all. I'm more than happy to if I can. Six, I feel extremely tired. No problem. So do I. I'm probably going to call it in the next little while, guys. Where are we? Yeah, probably the next, 15 minutes or so. I'll probably call it a night, because it's getting a little bit late for me as well. And I do have a couple of appointments that I'd like to keep, and a bit of work that I would like to get done before I call it a day. But yeah, no problem. I believe she called it the halfway place, to which Otto responds, you mean the threshold. Very good, Fulcrum. Excellent. I knew I could count on you. Thank you for having the information that I lack in my drunken state, even though this is just cola, but it's more sugar than I've consumed all week, so to me this is drunk. But it is non-alcoholic, because I don't want to be drunk online, because that would just make a fool of me. Mickey Miranda, Kuru, the other book is called Little Nightmares. Journey Through Nightmares. Yeah, I thought it was. I think I said that earlier, but I couldn't recall it immediately. Maybe Roger used to be a kid like Mono, and the ferryman give him something in the name. The name tag could be his talisman that protects him. Absolutely. Also, some people, including me, think it's not a mask on Roger, but his skin. It could be his skin. It could be. But also, it's alluded to that it's a mask, because in the hospital, we see the exact mask. We see Roger's mask in the hospital in the Pale City. So unless there's someone that looks a lot like Roger, then it could be a mask, or it could be his skin. But we don't know. We're not sure. Can't wait to see all the Easter eggs in the third game, connecting everything together. Same. I hope there's a lot of them. The interesting thing about the novel description of The Lonely Ones is the sound of clocks, which remind me of the hallway OST when Mono turns into Thin Man. Yeah, that ticking, that dun, dun, yeah, I love that one. I love that one, and I always thought the clocks allude to how long he's been sitting there. You know, that persistent ticking that he's subjected to, I think is really cool. Am I entered into the contest? Solamax, yes, you. I think you likely are. If you're not, just type the word together in all caps for me real quick. If you've already done that, you're already entered. If you haven't, just do it again, because we'll only be counting one entry. So when you type the word together, we'll only count it once. So if you type it 100 times, we're only going to count it once anyway, unless of course you've made donations or memberships or blah blah blah, anything alluding to that, which is the ways to expand, which I cover, which is all in the description below. Yeah, I forgot to mention that. So any of you guys that are wanting information on the giveaway for the official exclusive Together Mono and Six Together diorama, it's in the link in the description below. It's in the description below. Just scroll on down and read that. Obviously, if you don't want to read it, I literally read the whole thing at the beginning of this video, and I will be, and it's in a post as well, I think, as well. But either way, that's not what we're about right now. But yeah, if you want to, my brother, just type the word together in the chat and you will be automatically entered. Oh, stop it. I love that you're going through and reading everybody's theories. Tons of respect for you for that. Thank you, Clamori. And I'm sorry it takes so long to get through. Like, I know some people are putting, like, they're leaving comments and like speculations, theories and questions, and I'm taking forever to get to them, but it's because I want to address everybody and give everyone the respect they deserve. Because obviously it's a bit disheartening when the whole idea of a stream is to sit and talk to a creator like myself who said this is the point of the stream. Ask me a question and I'll try and answer it. Give me a theory and I'll try and read it, and then I just don't. That's just rude, because there is a lot of chat, but there's not so much of it that I can't keep up. I don't have an excuse not to communicate with you guys at this point in time. So I will try and give you the respect you deserve and get as much of these read as I possibly can. And if I do miss any, I am really sorry. Sometimes I'll go through my chat and I'll think, oh no, I didn't respond to that. If I do miss it, I am really sorry, and feel free to repeat yourselves if you want to just give me a quick booster and be like, by the way, you didn't reply to me, talk to me, because I am trying, but a time will come where I'm not able to. Obviously, there's been like up to 35 of you in chat at any given time, which doesn't sound like that big a number, but when you're trying to imagine being in a room with 35 people and every single one of them is trying to ask you a question, and just try to keep up. It's hard. But I'm trying my best for you guys, I promise you. Let's see. Heclamori, I looked at it and something, I don't see a clown. It looks like Sully from Monsters Inc. to me, but you could explain how you see a clown. I'd appreciate that. Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to go and have a look at that myself too and see what it is that you see, Clamori, because I'm really interested in watching that short you made. Faceless Art says, by the way, Gemini, I absolutely love the Sound of Nightmares theme song so much, and I sometimes listen to it in my sleep. It feels like I'm actually singing into the nowhere. You know what? I've dreamt about the nowhere a lot. Like, I've dreamt about being in the Little Nightmares universe, and it's really strange because when I dream about being there, I'm small. I'm tiny. I'm like 6. I'm one of the children there. So yeah, it's cool, and I can see why music would influence that externally. Absolutely. It does look like a clown to me because of the haircut, but we can all agree it's some kind of new enemy. It potentially is. Again, I don't have an opinion because I haven't seen it yet, but I am going to go watch Clamori's short, and I would advise any of you guys who are interested also to do so. Pop over to his channel and have a little look and tell me what you think you see. And again, don't fight with each other about it, because like everybody's... like the idea is it's open to interpretation. So where he sees a clown, you might see a dog, I might see a lamb, he might see a bunny. It doesn't matter. The idea is that we can speculate. They've given us something to consider, so have a think about it. But remember, be polite, be respectful, and be understanding. All you got to do is think about what you see, because the idea of these games is interpretation. It's about the impact it has on you as an individual. So if you see a clown and nobody else in the world sees a clown, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. It's not worth like getting into a fight over. Debate on it by all means, and like ask questions and be curious. But for crying out loud, don't fight. I did actually draw art piece based off the theme song, and I even called it My Sound of Nightmares. Ooh. I wrote a short story based off it. Ooh, you got talent. To be honest, I don't see any hair at all. That's cool. I might not. It might be a hat. Might not be hair. It might not be a clown. I haven't seen it. I want to see it. I'm interested. I'm going to put my 2 cents in on this, guys, by the way. So pop over to his channel and check the comments, because I am going to have a look and I am going to express my own opinion. My trust is into Supermassive because they made some of my favourite story games like Until Dawn, Dark Pictures Anthology, which I think you should play. Yeah, now I have not played them myself, but I've watched some of my favourite YouTubers play them, and they do look good. And as far as story goes and monster design goes and everything like that, they are really, really good. I think they're a AA studio. They might even be AAA by now. They are big budget. They are very, very impressive. And like I say, they are working alongside Bandai, and they do have some of the team members from Tarsier over there working with them quite closely as well, and they have the lore Bible, so I don't think they can get this wrong. And I think they've spent a lot of time on it intentionally to make sure they get it right. And just having the interviews to go by, we can see how seriously they're taking everything. Just look at the footage we've seen. The footage we've seen so far of the Necropolis was absolutely dope. It was absolute fire, and that's pre-alpha. Pre-alpha. It's not even beta tested. It's not even alpha tested. Like, this is the absolute bare minimum that we're going to get, and it's already phenomenal. Cuphead is amazing. I love it so much. So do I. I love Cuphead. I'm actually fairly good at Cuphead now. I'm going to do a couple of Cuphead challenge runs and stuff like that coming up. That's another thing, guys. I was going to put that in a poll. In fact, I'm going to do it now. I'm going to write you guys a little poll. Let me know what you think. Oops. There you go. I've added a cheeky little poll for you guys. Feel free to vote on that and do whatever do whatever comes to mind. I know a lot of you guys wouldn't mind watching me play Cuphead and watching me rage and make a fool of myself and everything. But I also know that some of you guys literally just want to see me theorise on Little Nightmares, and that's it. You couldn't care less about Cuphead. You couldn't care less about any of the games. You just want to see me play Little Nightmares. And that is totally cool. I totally get it. I know a lot of you guys are from the Little Nightmares community. Some of you might not even know what Cuphead is. But if you don't, I would highly encourage you to check it out because it's awesome. It's a lot of fun. It's super hard. And I'm fairly good at it. So, like, if I feel like it would be a good way for us to interact and I actually play a game instead of just, like, yelling at you guys. I don't know how loud I'm being, so I feel like I'm shouting at you all day. Okay. Excuse me. I suppose it will just have to be up for debate until we see a clearer look. Absolutely, Clamari. And that's a very good answer as well, because it is up to debate. Because what you're saying about it being a clown could be right. But also what Nightmare's saying, where he's saying he doesn't see a clown. Nightmare doesn't see a clown. And that's totally fine also, because you guys are all entitled to your own opinions, because it's just a picture. You guys might have heard of a concept called pareidolia. And pareidolia is something that human beings have that allows us to see faces and familiar images. So, you know, when you look at a cloud and you think, oh, that looks like a dog, that looks like a man, that looks like a face. Or like if you look at a shadow on the wall, like if you hang a coat over a door and turn the lights off, you're like, oh, that looks like a scary person in the corner. That's called pareidolia. And it's our brain's way of trying to make something that we don't recognize recognizable. So where you see a clown, someone else might see something entirely different. It doesn't mean you're wrong. It doesn't mean they're wrong. You know, like, that's why, like, when a kid comes up to you and says, okay, here's an example of pareidolia. When I was a small child, when I was about 3 years old, I ran into my mum and dad's bedroom and said, there is a rabbit in my room. And they said, oh, come on, go back to bed. I went back to bed and I seen it again. I was like, there is a rabbit in my room. I know there is, I saw it. And they came in just more to humour me than anything. And what I actually saw was a mouse. It was a field mouse. And for some reason it was in my house. And I thought it was a rabbit because I just saw a small furry thing hop. But it went so quick I could barely see it. But in my mind it was like, oh, rabbit. I wasn't wrong. I did see a rabbit, as far as my 3-year-old brain can process. I thought I saw a rabbit. I saw a hopping little brown thing. But they came in and they were like, you can't possibly. I did. So where you say you see a clown, you probably do, and I'm not going to question it. And nightmare, whatever you see, if you don't see hair, you don't see hair. And I'm not going to question that either, because both of what you say is correct from your perspective. And that's what it's about. But I can't wait to find out what it actually is. Also, I finally got the platinum trophy on Cuphead. It was so difficult, but I'm so proud of it. Cool Games, well done. Because that puts you, right, and I'm not even exaggerating, guys. When I say this game is hard, it is hard. If you have got the platinum trophy on Cuphead, you are in the top 2% of players on Earth. It's really hard. So congratulations, well done. I strongly believe that the world is where the counties isn't the only Earth or universe that nowhere reaches into. It could absolutely be a multiverse. No doubt, Plasmatic. That could definitely be a thing. That's the same, man. Sorry to be a bummer, but my friend who is the best person who I could ever be in my life is going through a rough time, and I want to be there for her, but I don't know how to be there for her. This has nothing to do with it, but just maybe ask your thoughts on this. Just like pausing for a second. James King, Mal, my brother. If this person is your best friend, the best thing that you can do for them is be there for them as a human being, as a person. Like, I tend to find that the best way to be there for someone isn't to really give an opinion or try to change anything. You know, you don't even have to, they can give you 101 issues, but you might not be able to solve them all. What you've got to do is just be there for that person. Let them know that you are there. You're their friend. So whatever they need, they might need you to listen. They might need you to commit to a particular interest of theirs. You know, a lot of the time they just need to know that somebody is there to validate their existence because they feel alone. Particularly on a day like Valentine's Day, where a lot of people feel neglected and they feel like they're pushed out of the celebration because they don't have anyone to celebrate with. But you can be there just by offering not your services, but your company. You know, just message and say, hey, I'm here and I care about you. And I want you to know that I care about you and recognize that I am here and you are not a burden on me. And if there's anything that I can do that will make you feel better, even if that's just listening, like if you want to call me and vent, I won't say a word. You know, I won't offer an opinion. I won't judge you. Just talk to me. And that's absolutely fine. And if you've got to go ahead and do that and be there for your best friend, then you go ahead and do that. Because I can tell you guys now, as much as I enjoy being here, if my best friend called me and said, I need you, I'm cutting the stream off. You know, like, I enjoy being here and theorizing with you guys, but if my best friend needs me to be there, I'm gone. That simple. I would fight and die for that man, and he would fight and die for me. So yeah, be there for someone. I'm not going to offer you any advice necessarily. I'm just going to say be there for that person. If I was going to offer advice, I would recommend that if she's getting down and she's like struggling with stuff, try and pay attention to the things that are inside of your control. I often get overwhelmed by the life in general because I'm trying to take on too much at once. You know, I'm taking on my job, my other job, my channel, arguments that are going on, family issues, sickness, work, money issues. I don't have time to be taking on everyone else's problems, but I try because they're my friends. So my friends will come to me with issues and problems and stuff, and I feel like I'm expected to solve them. So I've got to take a step back, have a look at the things that are inside of my control. What can I change now? What can I make a difference with now? And what can't I change? Because if you can't change it, it's like, oh, well, I'm having a really bad day because my car won't start and it's raining. It's like, okay, well, the rain, forget about the rain. You can't control that. That's not going to change. Forget the rain. You can focus on the car. Focus on that. Pick one problem at a time and take it systematically. Have a logical, analytical approach to how you solve problems. Don't take on too much at once. Make a list. Make a list and then break it down into priorities. Make a list of like what's bothering you. Pick 5 things that are upsetting you and then prioritize them. What can you change? What can't you change? Focus on what you can change and beat it down bit by bit, and eventually you'll win. You can't fail. You only fail when you stop trying. Anyway, rant over. Wait a second, it does not look like he has eyes either. Okay, I'm starting to get convinced it's Purple Suit Man. It could be, and I hope it is. I see 2 eyes. He was described as having no eyes. Oh, yes, he was actually. Yeah, interesting. Just kind of looks like his skull under the mask. Eyes or eye sockets. I don't see eyeballs. Interesting. Kuru the Wolf says, according to what I just researched, Journey Through Nightmares is a guide, maybe like the FNAF guidebooks. Oh no, another FNAF reference! Ah! Oh dear me. Oh my goodness. Wait! Sorry, right, I'm jumping ahead, right? I am going to go back and read these comments, but I've just got to read Detective Fallen. I think you left before I had a chance to thank you earlier on. I recognise that you made a lovely donation and said some very kind words, and I want to thank you so much for that, my brother. I didn't mean to ignore you. I'm just miles behind on chat, but thank you for coming back. Yes, you are just kind of catching the end. I'm running a little bit late because I want to, I want to give everyone a chance to enter the competition. I want to give everyone a chance to share their thoughts, theories, speculations, and I do want to answer everyone's questions before I abscond and leave, because I don't want to leave anybody in the lurch. But yeah, I also wanted you to know that I am extremely grateful for what you did and what you said, and that it was recognised. I promise you, I wasn't being ignorant. I just missed it because I'm behind. My fault. Thank you so much. Anyway, with that being said, Trippy says, what is the ring around Low and Alone in Little Nightmares 3? I don't know. I consider that it might be a giant teething ring. So if you type in on Google, I couldn't find an image to show, but I did speculate this ages ago, is that it could be a teething ring for a baby, but I couldn't find one that was similar. Either that or like a bangle, like a baby bangle sort of thing, because you find those as well, but I don't know. Chances are it's more likely a part of a fairground ride of some description, but I have absolutely no idea. I'm more concerned about the things that are in it, because there's a lot of little things, like you can see a gnome, it looks like you can see a porcelain mask in there, and then there's a couple of the things that allude to the actual storyline surrounding it. So I don't know what the ring is, but I'd really like to know other people's opinions on it. Clamori, looks like we have different point of views. Yes, indeed. It's going to be interesting to see what it actually is. It totally is, and that's the thing. That's what's brilliant about the community, and well said, Clamori. This is the thing. So Clamori and Nightmare have just had a small debate about what they actually see in this image, and you've come to a mutual agreement, and that's fine, and everybody's happy and everybody's friends, and that's great. This is the theory community. This is what it's about. Not just crapping all over everybody else because they disagree with you. You're allowed to disagree. In fact, you're encouraged to do so. You're supposed to. The game is up to your interpretation as an individual. Cuphead with viewers would go crazy. Yeah, no doubt, but I sure as hell wouldn't be able to keep up with chat if I did. So you guys, if you wanted to see me play Cuphead with viewers, you would have to bear with me, because it takes a lot of concentration and I wouldn't be able to blink. So I'd have to pause, spend 5 minutes talking to chat, and then, break it off. But if you guys want to see me play Cuphead, and I do agree to do it, I definitely would not be able to answer all of your thoughts, theories, and questions like so. But yeah. Anyway, you should also play Inscription. Couldn't agree more. I did play Inscription, in fact, but only the first little bit. I think there's a 6-part series on my channel. If you click on my videos and you scroll down far enough, you will find my Inscription series where I actually played the game. I loved it. I thought it was amazing. Fipsy B2, hi Gemini. First I want to say thank you for commenting on my video, but what other chapters or monsters do you think will be in the third game? Okay, well, first of all, my shoe. No, Shumai. Shumai is hello. In fact, are you from North or South Wales? People who don't know, Fipsy B2 is I believe he's Welsh, and he's a YouTuber like myself, and he's made some really interesting Little Nightmares videos of late, and I watched one of them, and I was like, this guy's got something. This guy's got something going on. I am very interested. And he's got one of the best accents you'll ever hear. Trust me, it's amazing. And my Welsh is garbage. I don't know very much of it. Shudiki, I think, means how are you? And I'm so sorry if I'm butchering your language, brother. And some of the Welsh guys I know don't even speak Welsh. But hello. And in answer to your question, I think the chapters that we're going to be discovering in Little Nightmares 3 are going to be the Necropolis, an obvious one, the Carnival, the factory, and the sewer. I think they're the main areas that we're going to cover. And as far as monsters go, Monster Baby, again, obvious for the Necropolis. I think either this clown or purple suit man from The Sounds of Nightmares could make an appearance in the carnival section. The sewers is going to involve this multi-handed creature that I call Giga Roger, because we don't have anything other than its hands to go by. But that could be a thing. I've also seen a really cool concept called Rat King, that was a like drawn concept on DeviantArt by an artist that I cannot remember the name of, but it was really cool. And the factory, I believe, is a candy factory, and I think, and this is a strange theory, that if you guys are interested in seeing why I think this, watch my video called The Hostile Theories, and I explain this in more detail. But I think Otto could be the enemy in there. And I think we might have already seen a glimpse of him in one of the screenshots. But I won't go too much into it now because I need to get through all these comments and such. But yeah, and also I think possibly 6 might be the last boss if it's not the Mirror Man or the Lady. But I'm not sure on that either. I'm alluding to the connection between the mirrors and the black smoke. I think that they have merit, and I think that they have like substance behind them, and I break it down in the Hostile Theories video, so if you want to hop over there and have a watch of that after the stream, please do, because I detail this quite heavily, so much so that I actually spoke to the voice actor from The Sounds of Nightmares who played Otto. His name's Kester Lovelace, and I spoke to him directly and inquired about it, and you can see all of that over there on the Hostile Theories video. Also, hello FipCB2, it's great to see you. I'm so glad that you can make it in my chat, my brother. Great to see you. And forgive my terrible Welsh. President, if you've Mr. President, how are you, sir? Mr. Gemini, always a pleasure to see that beautiful face. Why, thank you. It's not a beautiful face today because I haven't had a shave. I went to the barber's earlier on, but ran into my friend outside who was having a bit of a difficult time, so I ended up taking him for coffee. So rather than actually getting a haircut as was intended, I just went for coffee. So you're going to have to put up with scraggly, trampish, homeless-looking Gemini for the moment. Alright, I think I'm going to leave. Hopefully see you sometime soon. Hopefully see you soon, Abyss. I hope you've had a good time. Great to see you. Hi, Go. Thought I recognised your profile picture. Thanks. So, yeah. People should watch 50B2. If you guys haven't heard of him, you should. He's a YouTuber who's up and coming in the Little Nightmares circles, as it is. And he does have some really interesting theories, and he's looked into some stuff pretty deeply. You might want to take a look, because I did. And I liked it. If I liked it, you probably will. Catching these... Oh, you're cool AF, and that's... It's like Detective Fallen sent some really kind words, and I'm not going to repeat because I'll choke up, but thank you. Can't wait for the theories you think of when the game's officially out. Neither can I. I'm super excited because, obviously, theories depend... they're entirely dependent on substantiating evidence, and that evidence is only come in the form of one gameplay trailer. That's all we've got. We've got a couple of screenshots and like 20 minutes worth of gameplay that's subject to gratuitous change in time because it's pre-alpha, and one release trailer that again can be changed and can be augmented. So we don't have a lot to go on. So it is hard to theorize on. But yeah, once we get more, you better believe I will be diving into this headfirst. Dive into the madness. Dive into the madness now. Thank you, man. This means so much coming from you. Appreciate every bit of what you said. Has made me feel so much better about what I do. I'm so glad I could help. James King, Mal, whatever you want me to call you, I'm so glad I could be of service to you. I really hope that your friend is doing okay. Tom Asher, if you look at him, it looks like a skull. It could, because Roger kind of does. Like, Roger, when you look at him, you don't really consider the top of his head, because he wears a hat and a mask. But if you were to remove both of those, he's just got a dome, hasn't he? It says on a GameStop page that the game is $40. Yeah, now I heard that it was quite expensive, and I expected it to be more than Little Nightmares 2. But $40 is kind of steep. I'm going to pay it. I mean, it doesn't matter to me anyway, because I'm going to buy the deluxe edition or whatever the best one is. So like the TV edition for Little Nightmares was like $70, and I bought that. So whichever one's the most expensive, I'm going to end up buying that. So the actual price of it doesn't bother me necessarily, as long as it's not really stupid. Because I'm pretty broke, to be honest. But I'll definitely be investing in that. Yeah, lots of messages, dude. Lots of messages. Gotta go now, but to make sure I'm in the competition, I'll leave one last together. Have a great night. No problem. No problem. It's been great to see you, James King. Thank you so much for stopping by. And again, I hope your friend's doing all right. And don't worry, you are entered in the competition. All of these will be counted fairly and evenly by me and my team over the next 24 hours. And if you win... yeah, don't forget to ring the bell as well, because if you win, you'll know in the by community post in the next 24 hours. And you don't want to miss that, so ring the bell for me, please. Oh, there's some Valentine's connection between Detective Fallen and President of Evil. Maybe you guys should do a collab, if you know what I mean. Wait, President says going through what you were saying. I know that I'm an off-screen friend, and I know that yes, I would. Yeah, President, absolutely. Yeah, you know it. You know it. And I really appreciate you, sir. I really appreciate you, my dude. Pipsy says, thank you, Gemini. That means a lot. Yes, I'm from Wales, and your Welsh is surprisingly good. Again, thank you for watching my videos. Really appreciate it. Yeah, anytime, my guy. Anytime. If you keep on releasing videos like consistently good quality, I will consistently be interested. As will a lot of the guys in this comment section, and as will a lot of the Little Nightmares community. Like, keep on doing your work, mate, because you've got it. You've got something special about you, my guy. Trust. Clamori says, we see a toy room with some sorts. Childish piano puzzle in the trailer. Do you think that this could be a chapter of the game that takes place inside a daycare of sorts? Yes, possibly. I actually forgot about that because when I first saw it, I thought it was one of the Monster Babies' giant toys that could have been in the necropolis. But upon reflection, what it could actually be is a... It could be a connection. So it could be that later on in the game, you know, like in Little Nightmares 1, we see them wearing masks, and in Little Nightmares 2, we see where the masks came from. Well, it could be that Little Nightmares 3 shows us the monster baby, and then shows us one of the toys that they were creating, maybe as a means to not tame her, but like, appease her. Sort of like, you know, look, you know, you don't have to kill us, we made you a toy. Because it seems like a big piano that she could enjoy, and it looks like it's made for a kid, doesn't it? And you do see that people have tried to pertain to her because she's wearing a big dress. There's a huge pacifier hanging in the necropolis as well, that was obviously created for her. So yeah. Cuphead King, please teach me. NB, I would be happy to teach you. And 87% of the guys in this chat have said that they would be interested in watching me play Cuphead. And I would love to. I'd love to play it for you guys in a different stream, obviously, with chat challenges and stuff. And I will ask that you guys will... I hope that you guys will forgive the fact that I can't keep up with chat when I'm playing Cuphead, but it will be a lot of fun. But yeah, I'm pretty good at Cuphead. I wasn't always, but I've since joined the Deathless run. In fact, you guys can watch my Zero Deaths run on Cuphead right now if you wanted to, or after this stream at least. But yeah, an NB, I'd love to teach you, my dude. I wish that I lived in the United States so I could come and sit with you and we could play together and I'd show you. But it's literally just practice, my guy. I really want to see you do it. NB, if you decide to go live and play Cuphead, some of these guys will probably want to watch that. And for those of you guys that don't know, Notorious Base is a YouTuber that specializes in no damage runs, but mostly on games like Resident Evil. If you guys are familiar with the franchise, it's awesome and it's really hard to do, and he's an expert, like a veteran at no-hit challenges. So I challenged him to do Cuphead, which is a notoriously hard game to complete, you know, at the best of times. Never mind hitless or damageless or deathless or whatever he's going for. Extremely hard. But please, if you get a chance, go and check him out, because it's going to be something that I'm forcing him to do, and right now he's not having a good time with it, and it's hilarious. But he's going to get better, and I have no doubt that one day he'll be better than me, because like I say, the guy's a veteran at not getting hit. Practically bulletproof when it comes to Resident Evil. Maybe that's a Poppy Playtime reference, it could be. Out of the toy box. Gemini, what's your worst and best boss in Cuphead? My worst has got to be the robot in aisle 3. My favourite is King Dice or the Candy Woman. Ooh, right. So I really, really thoroughly enjoy as far as fights that I really like in Cuphead, I love fighting Werner Vermin, the mouse. I think that fight is great. The music is pumping. It's a really fluid and smooth fight. It makes you feel badass when you win. It's really cool. I think it's like that's my favourite fight to have. The worst for me is Room of Honeybottoms, because although I love the fight, I can't stand doing it. It's a run killer for me. So like when I do zero death runs, Room of Honeybottoms is usually where I lose it. Either her or Chef Saltbaker. Chef Saltbaker came straight from hell, and he can go back there. I hate Chef Saltbaker so much. He is the most bull boss in any game ever. 50B, sorry to be a pain, but I have another question. Never ever apologise for having a question for me. That's what this is all about. You are entitled to your questions, and I'll do my best to answer it, my brother. How do you think the ending will be? Sad, bittersweet, horrible, or happy? There are so many possibilities. Will the ferryman be disguised or happy? Okay, so again, in one of my recent theory videos, I speculated that I believe that Alone is called Alone because of this exact thing. If you guys have read the comics, like I've got back there, you'll recognise that the ferryman has a strange ability. He can disguise himself as children. Like, he can take on a corporeal form and trick you into thinking he's someone else. Now, I speculated that what if the monster baby grabs Lo and Alone, and then it cuts to black, and then we see them wake up? What if one of them did not survive that encounter? What if the monster baby actually kills Lo then? But we continue the journey as normal, not expecting anything to change. We just think, oh, well, you know, he survived, they woke up, everything's okay. But right at the end of the game, it's revealed that Lo died really early on. But we didn't notice it because we never played the game, and it was kind of like open to interpretation and a bit abstract. But maybe he died and the ferryman replaced him, and right at the end of the game, when Alone finds a way to escape, she tries to take Lo with her, and she can't, because he's not Lo, he's the ferryman. And that's why she's alone. Get it? Just a thought. And yes, I think it will be a sad ending because it's Little Nightmares. It's not going to be a happy ending. I will put money on it. In fact, if it's a happy ending, I will eat my hat. And I don't have a hat, but I will purchase a hat and I will eat it for you on stream. It's not going to be a happy ending, my guys. Do not be disillusioned. It's called Little Nightmares for a reason. And thank you, FipsyB2, for your question. I appreciate it. Well, I mean, so what happened? That's a broski pause. There's a channel who did Little Nightmares 1 and 2 music videos, and they just act out the game with their song in the background. The channel is called Random Encounters. You should check them out. I'd love to. I absolutely will. In fact, these channels that you're asking me to check out, when I'm going through this and counting up the entries into the competition tomorrow, there's a good chance I'll be checking out some of these channels and having a little look at them because they all sound really interesting. How do I enter? Yep, Nightmares, right, just type together in all caps. Yep, you've done it. All right, brilliant. Awesome. Yeah, both of you guys in. We have to get you and Mr. President out here, and most of you love the Boom Squad. Yes, Boom Squad for the win. For those of you guys that don't know, the Boom Squad, which is a lot of you at this point, the Boom Squad is my membership program, which is basically if you pay a subscription, you can join the Boom Squad and become a VIP member, and then you receive access to all of my like private content, as it were. It's not an OnlyFans. It's none of that bull. I don't do that garbage, but I do make shorts, and I do make theory videos, and I do make fitness-related content, and there's stuff that people won't get unless they're a member. So, like channel memberships, again, there is no pressure. You don't have to, but the Boom Squad are my inner circle, and they get access to everything. So when you hear me mention the Boom Squad, that's a lot of you guys. I used to stream Cuphead on my Twitch, got about 100 followers, but stopped about a year ago. Oh, you shouldn't have stopped. Cuphead's dope, and it's still going now. People are still really interested. Plasmatic says a lot of the environments and rooms that are made for the children in the Norway are way too big for them in comparison to their size, like in the hospital's playroom and the playroom in the mall. Couldn't agree more. In fact, pardon the pun, but yeah, I noticed that the only thing that seems really made with children in mind is the playroom in the mall, kind of, the cages in the mall, and the little ladders. This is something that I've thought about, and I'm not sure who put them there or why they're there, but like, say the side of the moor, for instance. You know when Six leaves the moor, goes outside, watches the guests march from the ship onto the moor, and she calls a little ladder that's attached to the side of the moor. Why is that there? Who put it there? It's literally a part of the moor, but why? Like, what's its purpose other than to get Six from A to B? But Six doesn't belong there. She's never belonged there. She's not a part of it. So unless the moor knew, like unless the moor is actually a living organism and fully expected Six's presence and accommodated her by growing a ladder out of the side of it that seemed to be specifically built for someone her size, why else would it be there? Like, what's its purpose other than that? One could speculate that it's for the gnomes, and the gnomes have a position on the moor and a purpose there, but it's been a really difficult one to theorise on because it just doesn't make sense, because the children of anybody do not belong there, especially on the outside of the moor. It's kind of understandable if you see it on the inside of the moor where the children are and are supposed to be and are confined to by way of the janitor and the eyes and the electric cages, but it's not. It's miles out where the guests are, where you definitely don't want the kids to be. So, strange one. Cool Games up in the membership tier. Welcome to the mother effing Boom Squad. Yes, well done, Cool Games. I am absolutely ecstatic to have you. Brilliant to see you here. Welcome to the Boom Squad. And you've also just doubled your entries to the giveaway as well, because Boom Squad members already get double all of their entries by default. So you now actually have 4, because it includes the price of your Boom Squad membership, which at Gnaid is 99p, but I'll round it up to £1 because I'm cool like that. So yeah, you now have 4 chances to win rather than 1. Well done, Ghoul Games. Welcome to the Boom Squad, my brother. Also, other Boom Squad members up in the business right now. Welcome, Ghoul Games. Say hello, guys. Let's see. Good night, Vikinky80. Good night, good night. Oh, Little Misfortune. Yeah, somebody said I should play that as well. Alright then, guys. I am going to call it quits in 3 minutes, because then I'll have been live for 3 hours. So anything that you want to say, anything that you want me to read, anything that you want me to ask me, please do it now, because I am thinking about wrapping this up and heading to bed. And as far as 24 of you are concerned, 87% of you want me to play Cuphead with chat challenges, and the other 12% want me to shut up and theorise. So, fair enough. And that's absolutely cool. No problem. Love that random encounters songs. I have them on my... JT, yes, so now you've just named 2 of my all-time favourites. JT Music and Rocket Gaming arguably do the best ones. Also, The Stupendium. The Stupendium and Dan Bull. If you guys haven't seen those ones, The Stupendium and Dan Bull do some of the best Little Nightmares music videos I've ever seen, period. They are amazing. Definitely in my top 3. If you haven't seen them, check them out. Please, they are dope. Yes, welcome. Welcome, Ghoul Games. It's great to have you. And also, sorry for banging my desk and throwing off my camera. I'm sorry if I just screwed that up. Gem's a gem for sure. I do try. Clamori says, this was a great stream. Thank you, Clamori. I really appreciate everything you said earlier, and I will definitely be checking out your short. I can't wait to see it and see what you have in store for me, and I can't wait to theorise on it. The Stupendium has worked with random encounters. Ah, yes. Now, I should have expected that, to be fair. Yeah, because random encounters I'm not familiar with, but I've no doubt that I'll have probably seen their work and just not seen it, not recalled it immediately. I know that the Stupendium also worked with... wait, was it Stupendium or was it... No, it was Dan... No, not Dan Bull. I mean, he did work with Dan Bull, but... JT Music worked with an animator called Harry 101, and he does the best Little Nightmares animations I've ever seen, period. They are amazing. So check out Harry 101 as well. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. POV, Gemini in 2035. What's up, guys? Today we're going to be checking out the announcement trailer for Little Nightmares 13. I hope so. Like, I genuinely hope that's the case. I really do. I really, really do. But also, if you think we'll be up to number 13 by 2035, you are disillusioned, my friend, because, like, by 2035, we'll probably have Little Nightmares 4 at a push, the way they're going at the moment. But whatever the case, I will be ecstatic. 50 says, thanks, Gemini, for answering my most desperate questions. Also, thank you for the kind words. As a matter of fact, I'm going to make another video now. Good night, and thank you so much. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here. And Pop Oil, Pop Oil, which is bye. And No Star, which is good night. Depending on which part of Wales you're from. If it's north or south, and I'm sorry if I'm butchering it, but either way, you're more than welcome. No star, and I will be looking forward to seeing what you create in the next little while, my brother. Thank you for showing up to the stream. It's been awesome to have you. Gemini, I'm not going to forget your bit about eating that hat, so I'm not going back into that. I will, right? You don't question me, right? Honestly, there is several debates within the Boom Squad whether or not I have consumed a human being. And I'll let you think about that for a little while. Just get to know me a little bit more, and then give me your thoughts. But there is actual questions as to whether or not I eat people. I will eat that hat. If it's a happy ending, I will do it with a smile on my face, live. Thinking the same thing. It would be pretty metal though. Yeah. I start doing content on Cuphead again. You've sort of inspired me to do it. Solar Max, let me say, if you make a Cuphead video, I will watch it. I will. I will watch it, I will comment, I will like, and I will come over there and see you. Fulcrum, goodbye. Have a great night, Fulcrum. Thank you for stopping by. It's been amazing to see you. Thank you, everybody. I hope everyone's had a great Valentine's Day. It's unbelievable. He eats souls, goddammit, isn't he? Yeah. I remember when I tried to get off a bus one time, and the driver accidentally closed the doors in my face, and I turned around and I said, release me or I'll eat your dreams. And he shit himself. But yeah, so that's going to do it for me. Thank you so much, guys. I really, really appreciate it. You're going to eat my brain like a zombie, lol. I don't know. It depends. God, you guys are making me hungry. Anyway, I'm gonna get the salt, right? Come here. Right, that's enough. I'm gonna go make some food and get on with my work. I'm not sure if I should stream it or do it for a video. I think you should stream it, Solamax, because that way I can interact with you, members of the community can interact with you and let you know what you think. I think that getting people's opinions on what you're doing is vital, and if you can have them in real time, that's the best method, because it's one thing to create a video and put it out there for the world to see, but if you're live and you can actively interact with the community, it just adds so much more character to it, and it really lets people get to know you. But like I would go live with it, my guy. It's entirely up to you. Like myself, I don't go live that often because I lack confidence in doing so. But I do like to go live and talk to you guys. But if you're not so confident, making a video works just as well. But I think you'll have a lot more fun if you've got an engaging community like this one that will come in and help you and like give thoughts and ideas and just screw around with you. When I play Cuphead, the Cuphead community tend to throw challenges at me that are just practically impossible. Have a good night, Divan. It's amazing to have you. Thank you so much for stopping by. Glitch Ghosts, thank you. Appreciate each and every one of you being here. So, like I say, guys, I'm going to wrap this up here. Thank you so much for being here. Me and my team are going to go through the live chat over the next 24 hours and announce the winner of the giveaway. In 24 hours-ish. Don't panic if it doesn't come up straight away, because this sometimes YouTube takes a while to like synchronize the live chat so that I can actually read it. But I refuse to do a count until I can be sure I've got every single one of these comments in. I wouldn't want to miss anyone or have anybody miss out on a chance to be included. So yeah. Like eating hats while fighting bosses. That's absolutely a thing, and it's something that I might have to do eventually, Detective. So thanks for giving them ideas. But that's going to do it, guys. I really appreciate you all. Like I say, keep your eyes peeled for the giveaway. It will be announced by community post via community post in the next 24 hours. Ring that notification bell. Thank you so much for everyone that's been involved today. Thank you for your donations. Thank you to my newest Boom Squad members. I will be reaching out to you guys as well. And thank you for all of your advice so far today. You're all amazing. Thanks, guys. I'm going to leave it here. But until next time.